Hello, hello. Wow. Bing, 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 bing. Suddenly music. I say actively unmuting the game. Oh god, music. Hello, good evening, welcome back. Oh, sorry, I have not actually stepped my fingers today at all. Welcome back to Tyrion Cuthbert, the arcane attorney. Funniest thing is, no, attorney of the arcane. That way around, not arcane attorney. What? He is an arcane attorney, whatever. Funniest thing to me is actually, if you have the game open, oh my goodness, everything's happening except the pigtails aren't happening because the cat ears and the pigtails don't work together for some. No, okay. The program itself is called Attorney of the Arcane. Like when you have it open, they didn't actually put the Tyrion Cuthbert into the process or whatever. It's only called Attorney of the Arcane, which I find very interesting. Thank you so much for the posture tags and the iodine. Everything is happening. In 5 minutes, once the cat ears are gonna wear off, I think everything's gonna break, so we'll just deal with that when the time comes. I hope everyone's had an okay week so far. It's already Wednesday. I'm so glad it's already Wednesday. Just 2 more days. 2 more days and then it's finally the weekend. I cannot wait for the weekend. It's also, surprisingly enough, it wasn't as hot today as it was the other 2 days. Which is nice. Which is very nice. I think summer can be over. Or maybe if it sticks to the temperatures it currently has, which is somewhere around like 23 degrees Celsius. So I'm like, yeah, that's okay. You know what? That's fine, but nothing more. That would be lovely. But yeah, we stopped last time on like the very last part of episode 2. So we really just have to somehow prove that our guy is not guilty, and more than likely this woman from another noble family is somewhat responsible, even though she now thinks, well, for a short amount of time, I'm assuming. Wait, where is she? Here, Miriam. I don't think, like, I'm guessing we're gonna get her into the courtroom somehow or another. And then she is going to find out that Celeste is not actually royalty whatsoever, and certainly not a cousin or whatever of Miss Steelwind here. But that's... Well, we'll see. We'll see how that's gonna go. Also, I wonder if these two are gonna show up again. The differences in her sprites is really not that much. That's amazing. But I still think she looks like a bunny. Something about how her nose is made, and then how the headband droops. Even though it's the same headband. Like on her, I feel like it's more of a bunny's ears. I don't know. She's a bunny to me. Whatever. Nope. Alright. Court is now resumed for the trial of Wallace Nightgrave. Let us review the proceedings from yesterday. It was revealed that a trace of necromancy may have not been left by the defendant. It may have been left by a witness who used necromancy to attempt to heal the victim. However, the victim was seen by witnesses well after her time of death. This can only be explained by the defendant using necromancy to animate the victim's body. This leaves the question, where did the murder take place? Does the prosecution have an answer for this? Based on the testimonies of several witnesses, it's very likely that the murder took place in the library. You'd imagine a bunny with drooping ears and have... Yep, yeah, right? Like... I would. I think... Several things take part. I'm not usually... Surprisingly enough, I, like... There's lots of people who are like, oh, this character looks like a... whatever, animal X and Y to me. I'm not usually someone to really actively think about that, but I saw her sprite and was like, bunny. I don't know. But murder took place in what?
Interesting. What led you to this conclusion, Miss Stewart?
The first lecture meant a code where the victim was cited before the body was found. It began when the victim had a meeting with the headmaster near the center of the building. Our meeting was scheduled for 12 p.m. According to my schedule for the day, our meeting lasted for an hour. This brings us to the statement of the next witness, a student at the academy. The student saw the victim walking in the hallways. I gave you some kind of haughty voice. I wonder if I can redo that again. Oh, there we go. She was heading towards the library, yeah. Which means that our first witness saw Bellwether leave the headmaster's office. Presumably, this would have happened after her meeting there. That would time this encounter at around 1 p.m. The other event is the discovery of the body, which was when Valentina Ianus contacted security. Then I spotted the professor lying in a pool of blood. He used a communication device, yes. As we've already established, this event occurred at 4 p.m. Maybe one of the clocks was at the wrong time. But the significance of this time is in what occurred before the body was discovered. The second witness, a member of the cleaning staff, spotted the victim in the west wing hallway. Knocked over a vase. Yes, yes. This means that this encounter must have happened no later than 2:30 p.m. And this implies that the victim was near the library between 1 p.m. and 2:30 p.m. According to the defendant's statements, he was in the library during this time period. Furthermore, the time of death was at 2:07 p.m. Oh my god, that is so specific. This means that Mr. Hughes saw the victim's animated body. Yeesh! Prosecution's theory lays out the following timeline for Catherine Bellwether's movements on the day of the murder. Sometime between from 12 to 1, Theodore Redmond has a meeting with Bellwether. Sometime after 1, Miriam Frege saw Bellwether walking in the hallways. Somewhere between 1 and 2, Bellwether spent time in the library. 2 to 3:30, Wallace Nycroft murdered Bellwether. Wow. You think he took like half an hour to murder her? Okay. 2:30, and Hughes saw Bellwether walking towards lecture hall 2B, and 3 p.m. the and sister discovered Bellwether's body. Yeah, let's blow a hole into this thing. Hi, Sammy. Thank you for the biddies.
So, your deduction certainly tracks, Miss Stewart. What do you have to say in your defense, Mr. Cuthbert?
You mean in my defense? I'm not the defendant, I'm the attorney. I'm the acting attorney. Prosecution's argument is definitely well thought out, Your Honor. However, it is entirely predicated on the testimonies of all the witnesses involved. Stevens' deduction has to have a hole somewhere, and since your conversation yesterday, you've had a feeling that Miriam is hiding something. If you want to get to the truth, you need to track that out of her through a cross-examination. Your Honor, to test the validity of these claims, the defense would like both of these witnesses to testify.
Mate, you're late. Don't worry.
Take your time. Welcome in. Defense calls Miriam Frege to the I like that we just immediately do this. Especially because Stewart didn't actually say her name. She was just like, oh. A witness saw her walking. She didn't even say that it's her. I wonder how that's gonna go over. You've not had dinner? Oh, I have had dinner. You like some of mine, but we only have bread. Frege! At the mention of her name, the judge's face turns a bit pale. I had a feeling it would come to this.
Do you have any objections, Miss Stewart?
I do not, Your Honor.
Very well. Believe, please escort Lady Frege to the stand.
Oh, she's not happy. Witness, please state your name and occupation for the... You little snakes! How dare you deceive me?
The man is not a Pokemon. What?
I don't care! Listen, every time I've played an Ace Attorney, I've said bye leave. And I think you told me like 3 times then as well. But it doesn't, like... Also, I don't even know what Pokemon a bye leave is. Pokemon? Oh. Okay. Never have I seen the English name for that one.
Bailiff.
Bailiff? I don't care. Bailiff. Okay. The knowledge will leave in my brain in 5 minutes. Oh, well, it looks like she found out. I had the opportunity to debrief the witness beforehand. Miss McCoy, for the record, I told you to exercise discretion. I did not mean that you should impersonate a member of my family. Yeah, sorry about that. I gave you all of the tea that I imported from the Eastern Kingdoms. For one small second before I read the rest of that sentence, I thought, like, I gave you all of the tea concerning the murder. I'm like, I don't think someone in 1755 would have used that specific terminology to talk about literally anything, but it would have been funny. I gave you all of the tea. I thought we would be besties after this. I demanded you return it to me. No, you gave them to me. They're legally mine now. I'm not sure what your business with the witness is, Miss McCoy, but I'd ask that you please handle your personal disputes outside of the courtroom. I sure spilled all of that tea on her bra. Anyways, Miriam, could you please testify to the court about your encounter with the victim? Very well. No, very well. I was working on a research project in my dorm room when I decided to take a break. I left my room and went on a walk. That's when I saw Professor Bellwether exiting the headmaster's office. She was walking in my direction, so I greeted her and she responded in kind. After that, she headed towards the library. A short time after that, I went back to my room and continued my work. I see, so it was only a brief encounter. However brief it was, the witness's testimony verifies two things. One is that Miss Frege saw the professor exiting the headmaster's office. The other is that she witnessed the victim head toward the library. Yes, I find it a very interesting thing that they just put everyone's ages in there. This gives us a rough timeline of where the victim was before her death. That does seem consistent. Consider that she's not telling the whole truth. Did Bellwether really enter the library that day? You feel like you would have seen her there if she did. Mr. Cuthbert, you may begin your cross-examination. Thank you. Let's see. Did she? Did anything seem off about her? No, but it was a very short encounter. It's not as if we stopped to have a conversation. You said that you greeted her and she responded. What words did she use? Why is that important? Miss Frege, it is possible that someone used illusion magic that day. Every detail about the victim's interactions could be important. Well, I bid her good morning, and she said good morning in response. I mean... Really? Oh my god, I have so much stuff for this case. Ah. Oh, I see. I guess pressing on this button doesn't actually work, but I have to scroll. Why would you say good morning if it was already the afternoon? You wouldn't call... No, you wouldn't. Would you say good morning at 1 PM? No, you wouldn't. No, fuck you. You have stuffing for the case?
Objection!
You would not say good morning at 1 fucking PM.
In this case, like an actual noble lady who certainly cares for her status would not say good morning at 1 PM because that is not a good morning anymore. You would say good day. Miss Frege, if I recall correctly, you have a habit of getting absorbed in your work. So much so that you even lose track of the time of the day. Yes, but what does that have to do with my testimony? Early in today's proceedings, the prosecutor made the following argument, like 2 minutes ago. Yes. Miss Frege, if you had said good morning to the professor, you would have been mistaken, because that encounter could have only happened during the afternoon. And your point is? You said it yourself, Mr. Cuthbert, the witness simply lost track of time. Yeah, but why would our victim have also lost track of time? What the witness said isn't what's important here. The significance is in what the professor said in response. She had just come out of a meeting that was scheduled for noon. She would be well aware that it was no longer morning. So why would she respond, "Good morning"? Wouldn't she have corrected the witness? The encounter was extremely short, and the victim's mind may have been preoccupied. She could have easily responded to the witness without thinking. I'm going to be honest, I kind of agree with her.
I'm grasping at straws!
It's not hard to believe that they were both confused about the time. It's definitely a stretch, but you still can't shake the feeling that she's hiding something. Every time you ask about how Bellwether acted that day, the eye picks something up. There has to be something there. Miss Frigga, you haven't been entirely truthful in your testimony, have you? That's absurd. What reason would I have to lie? It's such a small detail. Why does he even care? Every detail about how she acted is important, Miss Frigga. What aren't you telling us? Mr. Cuthbert, you have no basis to accuse the witness of perjury. Yes, you will stop this at once. Miss Frigga, you're lying about how Bellwether responded to your greeting, aren't you? It doesn't make a difference. All she did was yell at me. Oh, yell at you? All she did was yell. Miss Frigga, is it possible that Bellwether's response was less than friendly? What do you care? What difference does it make? Is he being so persistent? My job is to make sure every part of your testimony is truthful. Every detail matters, no matter how seemingly insignificant. Mr. Cuthbert, you will stop this or I'll find you in contempt. What? The professor yelled at you, didn't she, Miss Frigga? So what if she did? I mean... I'm sorry, but there's no going back on what you just said. So you do admit that she yelled at you? You impertinent little... Yes, I admit it. The professor didn't greet me back that day. Morning, Professor. Be quiet. Damn! She yelled at me to be quiet. But until then, we had always been nothing but cautious with each other. I don't know what got into her that day, but something put her in a foul mood. She said be quiet when the waves dropped as well. I think it's more and more likely that one of the arcane working thingies, I forgot their actual name, was just illusioned to look like her, and it was just using the voice line. But that's it. Everything else I said was the truth. Believe me, right? That part is true. I did see her come out of the headmaster's office and walk towards the library. So she wasn't lying about that. So is that all, Mr. Cuthbert? Do you mean is that all? You betcha this witness also could prove what exactly? The witness committed perjury? The witness changed a small detail of her testimony. A detail that is inconsequential to the case. It was clearly an act with no malicious intent. After seeing her thoughts, it's hard to disagree with that. You were so sure that the eye would lead you somewhere. But Frigga was only lying to save face. The witness saw the victim leave the headmaster's office and head towards the library. Do you have any concrete evidence to refute that, Mr. Cuthbert? No, I suppose I don't. Wait, is this really okay? At this rate, this will be the only chance you have to cross-examine her. I don't think she's lying anymore. And I was really pushing my luck earlier. If I continue pressing her, the judge might actually charge me with contempt. If Miriam isn't the one that's lying, then... The defense has no further questions for the witness, Mrs. Stewart. The prosecutor stays silent for a while. She almost looks disappointed. Very well. Miriam, you're dismissed. Miriam still looks like she's fuming, but she leaves the room without protest. The judge breathes a sigh of relief as the young noble is escorted out of the room. Now with that out of the way, what else do you have, Mr. Cuthbert? The only way to refute the prosecutor's theory is to cast doubt on one of the witnesses. If it wasn't Miriam, then... Stewart, to test your theory, we must question every witness that saw the victim that day. So with that said, the defense would like to call Jan Hughes to the stand. I hope you understand, Mr. Cuthbert. Your entire case rests on the assumption that one of the witness accounts is incorrect. If your cross-examination of Mr. Hughes leads nowhere, then I hope you're ready to concede. You don't like the sound of it, but she's right. Unless you can find something in Jan's testimony, you won't really have anything to disprove her theory. I forgot! Sorry, 1 second. I forgot to get my drink. Sorry about that. Like, I'm missing something. Something is missing here. It was my drink.
Bailiff, please bring in Mr. Hughes.
There, are you satisfied now? Witness, please state your name and occupation for the courtroom. Witness, name and occupation. Right. My name is Jan Hughes. I'm on the cleaning staff of the academy. Mr. Hughes, please testify to the court about your encounter with the professor that day. Sure. Sure. Every time I see this man, I have to yawn. I saw the professor when I was cleaning the West Wing hallways. It was about 20 to 30 minutes before the body was discovered. She walked by me, but she looked pretty out of it. But she was undead when this happened. Pretty creepy if you ask me. After that, she went into the empty classroom. Well, that was straightforward. Come on, Jan, what are we supposed to do with that? I don't know. You guys are the lawyers. Just telling you what I saw. Mr. Cuthbert, you may begin your cross-examination! That was like 3 different voices for one guy. Sorry about that. Okay. My cross-examination tells me... How would you know she was undead at the time? Tell me more about that. I believe you've forgotten a few details about what the professor did. Yeah? Sorry, it's hard to remember these things sometimes. Which details should you ask him for? Did she... Oh, all of them. Did she do anything to you? Did she interact with you at all? Oh, yeah. I didn't notice her at first and accidentally got in her way. She shoved me to the side and kept walking forward. This detail could be extremely important. Please add it to your testimony, Mr. Hughes. Whatever you say, man. Okay, what else? More. Did she touch anything? Oh yeah, she knocked over a vase and shattered it. It might have been an accident, but she's done stuff like that on purpose before. Yes. We're going to make this a really long one. And... I like that it has controller support, but for some reason... Oh, well, not as much controller support as I was hoping. Did you hear her make any sounds? Oh yeah, after she knocked over the vase, she yelled at me to be quiet. But I didn't even say anything. Okay, this could be extremely important. Good. So what do we have now? I heard she was undead, which is pretty creepy because she yelled at me. Oh, it just changes to the last one. Okay. Which one was it?
Objection!
Mrs. Hughes, you said a bellwether yelled at you. What were her exact words? I think she yelled at me to be quiet. What? I thought it was weird. I didn't even say anything. But I know better than to talk back to her. It's a thing, Hughes. The prosecution's theory is such. The professor was murdered in the library and was reanimated using animate corpse. With a quick illusion spell, no one would notice that she was undead. However, if what you saw was truly the undead bellwether, how did she speak to you? Huh? This doesn't make any sense. Mr. Hughes, undead can follow simple orders, but they don't have the intelligence to speak. Perhaps the witness was mistaken. No, I'm sure I heard her yell at me. I remembered because what she said didn't make any sense. Exactly. He didn't say anything, but she still yelled at him to be quiet. Wait a minute. I'm afraid I don't understand. We've already established that the victim was dead long before her encounter with Mr. Hughes. But if what... Knocking is a great invention. I wish people would use it more. What he saw wasn't an undead. What was it? It had to be an undead. What other explanation is there? It couldn't have been a major illusion. Otherwise, it wouldn't have been able to shove Jan out of the way or knock over the face. Whatever it was, someone probably used illusory disguise to make it look like Bellwether. Does that mean it was a person? No. No. If it was a person, how did Bellwether's body end up in a lecture hall? Bellwether wouldn't have been able to turn herself invisible if she was dead. And whatever Jan saw, it needs to be something that could have transported Bellwether's body unseen. It would have also needed to have a mass and the ability to speak. Create a Bellwether's voice. Or at the very least, it needs to be something that can recreate Bellwether's voice. See, that's what I keep saying. I could have done that. The arcane thingy. The arcane construct. Sorry, construct is what they call it. This thing. It has her voice already. That's it! You have an answer for us, Mr. Cuthbert. What did the witness actually say? Your Honor, the witness didn't actually hear the dead victim speaking. What he actually heard was her voice being recreated using magic. Are you trying to say that her voice was recreated using a spell? Not a spell, Steelwind. It was artificery. And whoever the murderer is, they had the perfect piece of artificery available to them. One program with Catherine Bellwether's voice. You can't possibly mean... That's right, Steelwind. What Mr. Hughes saw was an arcane construct. An arcane construct? Think of it as a magically animated suit of armor, Your Honor. But we ruled out such a possibility, hadn't we? Construct or not, no one could disguise themselves and carry the body to the classroom. A person wouldn't have been able to do it. But arcane constructs are a different thing entirely. The suits of armor are extremely large, but more importantly, they're hollow. I see. That means that theoretically, someone could have placed the victim's body inside it. The arcane construct wouldn't just transport the body. With an illusory disguise, it would also confuse and mislead anyone who saw it. Oh, she doesn't like that. I commend your deduction, Mr. Cuthbert. I would have never considered it a possibility. It's certainly plausible, but what does this prove exactly? I'll tell you as soon as I've taken a bite of this watermelon I just got put in front of me. It proves that the body wasn't animated using necromancy. My client isn't the murderer. The defendant is still capable of performing all of the acts that you described. His compendium contains illusory disguise, after all. There were several students in the library that day. Any of them could have committed the murder. One might come to that conclusion if they didn't have one crucial piece of evidence. I'd like to present a new piece of evidence to the court. Oh, really? Now you want a new piece of evidence? Okay. Watermelon can be very good sometimes. Also very cold. Wah. From under the table, you see Miss Steven pull out the bloody rapier. Blood. Is that... Yes, Your Honor. This is the murder weapon. Really? Now you're bringing it up? She was saving that for the perfect moment, wasn't she? Of course. I would have done the same. If I was the prosecutor and I had a piece of evidence like this, I also would have waited until now, for sure. The rapier was reported stolen by Miriam Frigga weeks before the murder, and during the investigation it was finally found in the defendant's locker. Wait, he was clearly trying to use one of her possessions in a paltry attempt to frame her. Why, he even stole her locker's nameplate and placed it over his. Damn it, that's not what happened. But honestly, it sounds more plausible than what really took place. We're basically back to square one, aren't we? Anyone could have told the concert to do all those things. Anyone? Is that really true? No. Construct transported the professor's body, and someone used an illusion to make it look like her. They even used a pre-recorded voice to make the illusion more convincing. Could anyone have done that? Who ordered the construct to hide the body? Well, we only have one person who's actually able to program the voice lines that play. So... bye-bye. Several memories flood back to you. You said about what I yelled at you, or her exact words, be quiet. It's the same one for you, yes? Yep. As her voice is just as serious, yes. 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 I can't be him. What is it, Tyrion? Did you figure something out? Yes. I figured out that I cannot be eating this watermelon and read at the same time. Also, thank you for the hydro time. Sorry, 1 second. What? What do you have against your pigtails? I did. Is he seriously the one behind all this? Miss Seawind, earlier you said that my client could have orchestrated this entire ruse, but it's simply not true. How so? Anyone could have ordered the construct to carry out the victim's body. Yes, but not everyone can change what the constructs are able to say. Only one individual has the credentials for that. Theodore Redmond, headmaster of the Imperial Academy. But you're not serious, are you? You think the headmaster did all this? I don't want to believe it, but he's the only person who could have done it. But that's completely ridiculous. Headmaster Redmond would never do something like this. Oh, you would know. Miss Seawind, there's one common element between each of the witnesses' encounters with Bellwether. So Bellwether said to them. She yelled at both of them to be quiet. Miriam Frigga was particularly surprised. She had a good relationship with the professor. But when greeted by the professor, Bellwether just shouted at her. Almost as if the professor was responding indiscriminately. Oh. And recall the encounter with Jan Hughes. The professor knocked over a vase and shouted at him to be quiet immediately after, even though he hadn't said anything. She was responding to the sound of the vase breaking. Now let me ask you this, Seawind. Where did Bellwether come from before she encountered Miss Frigga and Mr. Hughes? A meeting with the headmaster. It appears that the defense truly means to indict Theodore Redmond. If so, we have no choice but to take a brief recess until he can be brought here. That's not it? Oh. He's already here? There's no need. Fortunately for you, I'm already in the gallery. Oh. I feel like someone just threw like... This is like a fourth of an entire watermelon. What the actual fuck? I feel like someone just threw that into my enclosure and was like, eat! I can't stop. The headmaster stood up from the gallery seats behind you and slowly walked into the witness stand. Has he been here the entire time? Of course. And please correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Cuthbert, but do you think I am the one who committed this crime? I'm sorry, Redmond, but no matter how I look at it, everything I found points to you. Yes, yeah, as a zoo animal, that's exactly what I'm thinking of. Is like, oh yeah, my room is my enclosure. And someone just threw that in. I was like, okay, here's your food for the day. That's what I feel like right now. No, there's no need to apologize. In fact, I shall command you in the lengths that you're going to defend dear Wallace. The court appreciates your understanding, Mr. Redmond. Oh, he's angry. I think he really am angry. Now then, to clear the air, I suppose I should give my testimony on what happened out there. Please. That day I had a meeting scheduled with the professor at noon. She showed up at the expected time, and we discussed various administrative matters. Our meeting went on for an hour, after which she left to prepare for her next class. Despite our many disagreements, we still knew how to be civil with one another. After all, I had no reason to bear a personal grudge against her. Yeah? No personal grudge. You were most certainly going to lose your job, actually, because of her. I just can't see it. He seems like such a nice person. Is he really the person we're looking for? He has to be. No one else could have orchestrated this entire plot. You just need to find out how and why. Sure. Anyway. There. That's not fucking true. Where is it? Evidence. No. This one. Last week I was planning to fire Headmaster Theodore Redmond, replace him with Catherine Bellwether, blah blah blah. This was supposed to be kept a secret, but Bellwether revealed his plan to the headmaster during a meeting a few weeks ago, so he knew about it. So you're lying to me. Redmond, did you really hold no animosity towards Professor Bellwether? Of course not. I did have strong opinions about her methods of teaching, but I always remained professional. We both did. Frankly, I find that hard to believe. In fact, I think you might have had a very good reason to murder the professor, considering that she was going to take your job. What? So you knew about that? I'm sorry, but I don't follow. Just how was the professor going to take the headmaster's job? According to Miriam Frege, Catherine Bellwether was currying favor with the noble families. In fact, there was a plan to oust Mr. Redmond and appoint Bellwether as the new headmaster of the academy. What? But in any case, I don't that the headmaster had any idea of this until now. I'd like to remind the court of the witness's reaction just now. You said so you knew about that. His reaction was one of surprise. But he wasn't surprised by this information. He was surprised that I knew this information. That's... Please, dear Arya. I may be a frail old... Oh, he's opening his eyes! Cheers! I may be a frail old man, but I'm perfectly capable of defending myself. Uh-huh. Try me. If you have an explanation, Mr. Redmond, then by all means, I'd love to hear it. Gladly. Tree Man? Who's Tree Man? It is true that I knew about the Frege's plot beforehand, but I had only just learned about it. On the day of the murder, the professor told me about her plan. She was going to replace me as headmaster and replace the staff with hurricane constructs. Now you might say that this would have given me the perfect motive to murder the professor. However, the supposed murder weapon was stolen from Miss Frege. This happened weeks before the murder and my discovery of the professor's treachery. I had no knowledge of the plan before she told me, and therefore I wouldn't have known to steal Miss Frege's weapon in an attempt to frame her. No, it happened weeks ago. I'm simply going to show you the exact same piece of evidence I just showed you. Again. Are you satisfied now, Mr. Cuthbert? There's no way that the headmaster could have come up with this plan. If he really did do this, that means he stole the rapier too, right? Most likely. His alibi makes sense. He couldn't have planned this whole thing unless he knew about Bellwether's plans. That would mean he knew about this weeks ago. But how did he even find out? The best way to tell a convincing lie is to leave a lot of truths and only change one detail. Maybe Bellwether did tell him, but she actually told him weeks ago. The question is, how do you prove that? Mr. Cuthbert, you may begin your cross-examination. I know, I will. I'm going to say the same thing I literally just said. You had no knowledge of the plan before she told you? That's a fucking lie. Of According to Jan at least, she revealed this plan to you during a meeting a few weeks ago.
Objection!
But the music isn't stopping, so I guess that's not... Fuck. No, oh, okay. Maybe this is the wrong thing then. To show it on. Ah, wait. Only day after murder. Okay, wait. Maybe if I just do it here. Okay.
Objection!
Ah, this was right. Music stopped. Redmond, you keep saying that you didn't know about Bellwether's plot before yesterday. Do you still plan on standing behind that claim? Of course I am, because it's the truth. And if you're true, man? Yeah, that sounds about right. I'm sorry, Redmond, but you should really close your doors during your meetings. What? Did someone see? It is true that Bellwether revealed a plan to you during one of your meetings. In fact, Jan Hughes happened to overhear the same meeting, but he only overheard the part where the staff would be replaced. And that's the strangest part, Redmond. According to Mr. Hughes, this meeting occurred weeks ago. You can't accuse the headmaster of perjury based on a rumor. Everything you just said is based on second-hand information. Mr. Hughes distinctly overheard that the staff would be replaced with arcane constructs. That is too specific and too accurate to assume that he misheard a different conversation. The professor probably only revealed a plan for the arcane constructs. That still doesn't prove that he knew about her treachery beforehand. Professor Bellwether had no authority over the cleaning staff's employment. It would make sense for her to just reveal her plan for the arcane constructs. It would only make sense if he knew that Bellwether would be taking his job. So tell me one thing, Redmond. Why did you find the need to lie about this? Is it because you saw a need to protect yourself from my accusations? Redmond, I asked you a question. Did you murder Catherine Bellwether? Woo! That is a very normal sprite and not at all. Okay. Well, fine, Master, sis. I'm not done. Yep, not yet. Headmaster? So you truly plan on pushing this, are you? Well, your thesis sounded promising, Mr. Cuthbert, but I believe your arguments could use a little work. Something about when he blinks, the face is not properly aligned to the rest of the body. Yeah. Whoever put that blink in there managed to make it just move slightly to the right. That's interesting. You think I killed Catherine Bellwether? Me. I'm an elderly man in his late 80s. I was alone, had nothing to overpower Bellwether with. I can barely walk, much less wield a rapier. Really? You could use this fucking thing. But you and Bellwether weren't the only people in that room, were you? You needed the arcane construct to carry Bellwether's body. That means that the construct would have already been in your office. And with your privileges, you could have easily programmed the construct to stab Bellwether for you. Even so, think about what would have transpired afterward. Recall Miss Stevens' timeline of Bellwether's witnesses. With your theory, the construct would have spent more than an hour in the library. Having it there would have risked my so-called ruse from being discovered. Luckily, Lady Freya can tell night from day. I wouldn't have the construct linger around the library. Oh? Uses against claims to contradict Darcy's intuition then. Timing deduced from Miss Frigga's testimony is predicated on one thing. She saw Miss Bellwether exit the office after your meeting. However, if we assume that you're lying about when this meeting ended, your entire argument falls apart. Miss Frigga would have encountered Bellwether after her death at 2 or 1 p.m. Miss Frigga would have made a mistake like that. Miss Frigga thought it was morning when she saw Bellwether. She can't reliably tell the time. It's a good thing. I wonder if she's still in the gallery. Is just saying, "Damn you! I can't tell the time." And what about where the rapier was placed? If I really was the murderer, then that would mean I planted the weapon in young Wallace's locker. Several of the students had lockers that I had access to. I wouldn't have placed incriminating evidence in that locker. Wallace is one of my prized students. If I had to frame anyone, he would be the last person I chose. Oh god, wait, where is it? Oh my god. That was the evidence in the locker. Where is it? This one. You're right, Mr. Redmond. You wouldn't try to frame Wallace, but you would try to frame Miriam Frigga. It would have been the perfect act of revenge, wouldn't it? You murder your treacherous co-worker and frame the daughter of the family that helped her. Something went wrong, didn't it, Redmond? The labels on Wallace's locker and Miriam's locker were switched. Anyone who saw that would have easily mixed them up. I am the headmaster of the Imperial Academy. I have records of all students' lockers and where they're located. There's no reason I would make a mistake like that. If I truly planned this, I would have known where Wallace's locker was. A simple change in labels wouldn't have led me to make a careless mistake like that. Good question. Honestly, I need to look up who they hired for all the music because it's great. Why the hell? Ken Concert was the one who planted the rapier in the locker. Where's my credit? I bet you commanded to place this rapier in the locker of Miriam Frigga. But I saw the ID number on Wallace's locker and assumed that it was Miriam's. Redmond begins desperately stammering, looking for something to say. Miss Stewart, say something. What? Mr. Kappa, your theory may be plausible, but there's no evidence to support it. That's right, you don't have any proof, do you? There's no evidence of my orders. Saying that I could have committed the murder isn't the same as proving I did it. Yeah? Your King Concert is still in the locker room where I planted the rapier. All we have to do is take a look inside it and we see the blood inside. Is that so, Mr. Cuthbert? No, no, why would you? We just need to look at the log and see what kind of things it is. I want to look at all of that. Why does he still look so confident? No, Mr. Cuthbert, I already checked the inside of the construct during my investigation. The interior was completely clean. What? Construct's primary function is to assist and clean the Tyrion. They have a function that allows them to clean themselves inside and out. Well, we can still look at its command history, right? Think about it, Mr. Cuthbert. Do you honestly think that the murderer would leave behind evidence like that? I'm sure that whoever orchestrated this plot, they ordered the construct to wipe its logs when it was finished. And they do that, though. No. That's right, Mr. Cuthbert. Your case against me is theoretical at best. But I suppose I can still give you marks for trying. Damn it, he thought of everything. Was he seriously able to get rid of all the evidence? Nah. You're running out of options. You still have 1 tool left. Some becoming to glare like that young Tyrion. He's doing it again. Bring yourself back to the moment with Garrick Pierce. Think about what's at stake for Wallace just like you did with Celeste. His life and his future are in your hands.
Naught can remain concealed.
What? What's he saying? You activated the empowered eye again. Redmond did a good job of covering his tracks, but there has to be something that he forgot to get rid of. What do we have? What do we have? What do we have to make you think? To make you think. Ah. This one. Construct's orders were clear. Plant the body in lecture hall 2B and then plant the evidence in Frigga's locker. It was supposed to head to the storage room afterward. What happened? Interesting. The construct wasn't supposed to be in a locker room. So something happened? And it couldn't complete something. So it's stuck here. Why was the construct in the locker room though? It shouldn't have been there if it had followed my orders. No matter, it wiped its logs. They have nothing on me. So he did order to wipe its logs. In order to cover all of its tracks, it probably would have done this last. Wait, he ordered the construct to go to the storage room? It would have done that after it was finished planning evidence in the locker room. But we found it in the locker room. Stop the construct from leaving the locker room. Considering the timing, I probably couldn't get out because the lockdown had started. So it got stuck in that room, and because it got stuck in that room, it also didn't complete its last order of going to the storage room then. It just stopped there. Oh, where's the lockdown? This one. Right, the body was probably reported earlier than Redmond expected. This means he probably started the lockdown before the construct was finished in the locker room. How did the lockdown affect the construct's actions? But does this change anything? Yes, Redmond's series of commands was interrupted by the lockdown. Series of commands would have been interrupted. Wait a minute. Yes, in the order they're given. Yes, I know. The construct's final command was to wipe its memory, but if its orders were interrupted by the lockdown, then... Miss Stewart, I have nothing more to ask this witness. What? You're not giving up, are you? Do you even have to ask? Yeah, I thought so. How are you going to prove he did it if he's not testifying? Don't worry, the next witness's testimony will be all I need. Next witness? The look on your face isn't one of defeat. Just what are you planning? It's nothing but desperate bravado. Now, if you excuse me. You've let your quarry get away, Mr. Cuthbert. I hope you know what you're doing. Yeah, he's not gonna get very far. Don't worry about it. I do, Miss Stewart. First, I'd like for the Inquisition to bring in the arcane construct in the Academy's locker room. We've already established that the murderer could have wiped its history. Please, just humor me for a second, Miss Stewart. Very well. Bailiff! Please relay Mr. Cuthbert's request to Commander White. Yeah. Oh, it's quick. Well, here's your construct. I hope you know what you're doing, Mr. Cuthbert. Construct. What are your orders? Please recite your command history. Reporting. Command 1, stand by in Headmaster's office. Command 2, await vocal signal. Attack from Theodore Redmond. You hear Redmond stand up from the gallery. Seeing this, the prosecutor watches him and carefully clutches the handle of her cane. Command 3, treat Catherine Belvedere as a hostile entity and neutralize. Construct, wipe your... Halt. Huddle? Huddle! Huddle! Before I can finish the sentence, the prosecutor points a cane at the headmaster. I don't think that should have been huddle. Magical energy shoots from it, collides directly with. Oh no, maybe it's a spell. The magic weeds around his body and stops him from moving. He's clearly trying to struggle against it, but it looks like he can't even move his mouth. Miss Stewart! Excuse the interruption. Please continue. Command 4. Await vocal signal. Leave from Theodore Redmond. Command 5. Move to classroom 2B. Reply to any inquiries with voice line 3. Command 6. Remove Catherine Bellwether from interior frame and place on floor. You construct. You can stop now. I think we all know the rest. But just to be clear, who gave you the series of commands? Commands were provided by Headmaster Theodore Redmond. I know technically it's like all in Bellwether's voice, but it sounds more fun like this. How? I ordered the construct to wipe its command history. Mr. Redmond, constructs don't follow the same logic that humans do. They're prone to error when the commands are impossible to execute. Impossible? In what way were my commands impossible? You were the one that made it impossible. You activated the lockdown system. Lockdown? The body was found earlier than you'd like. You had no choice but to immediately activate the lockdown system when it was reported. However, the construct was still in the locker room when you did this. That's why it was there. The construct finished its task in the locker room, but then it tried to follow your next command. It tried to move to the storage room, but it was prevented from doing so. Completion of that command was impossible, so the series of commands was stopped before it wiped its history. You little... Theodore Redmond, you ordered your construct to murder Catherine Bellwether. Then you had it place the murder weapon in a locker to frame Miriam Frege. And we have your construct's testimony to prove it. And that's checkmate. I find it very interesting that you can still do that because I don't get the option to do that anymore, so thank you. I can't believe it. How could you do something like this, Headmaster? She was going to take everything from me. My position, my academy, my students. Everything would be gone. It was going to be stolen by her and the Fregas. Why didn't you say anything to me? I could have... Don't you dare stand there and act ignorant, Lady Stewart. Do you think the Fregas acted alone? Your father was a part of this plot too. What? I have nothing to say to you. I thought you were different. I listened to your lies about societal reform. In the end, you were just like the rest of the aristocracy. Thank you for the gifted sub! By the Skate Lord, what have I done? I was even willing to sacrifice poor Wallace. I can't believe I... What? Do this. It said, why did I listen to before it glitched? It appears we have a full confession. The court sees no reason to prolong this any further. Bailiff, please escort the witness to a holding cell. I'm just trying to make it a point because we still don't know what the glitches exactly are, and you cannot see in the log what it said before, and because it's such a short time, I'm always trying to read it. Anyway. Mr. Cuthbert, you really did it. It feels amazing, right? Like a big weight being lifted from your shoulders. It does, but... I can't believe the headmaster was the one who did this. Right. Despite everything Redmond did, he was the one that allowed Wallace to pursue his dreams. I'm sorry. I'm sure this is bittersweet for you. What am I going to do now? Headmaster Redmond was the only reason I could even attend the academy. With him gone... Come on, don't think like that. You gotta quit it. I'm sure it'll all work out. You want to agree, but necromancy is basically a taboo. Without Redmond's support, there aren't many places he could learn it legitimately. And then there's the Imperial Academy. Hey, don't you get all sad on me too? Sorry, I was just thinking. With Redmond gone, the Fregas will probably just appoint another psychopath as the headmaster. What the fuck is that? Valentina, Valerie, and Jan, they're all going to lose their jobs. Come on, you found the truth and you put a murderer behind bars. You saved Wallace. He's right. As you start to exit the courtroom, you're greeted by Miss Tomorrow. Was she in the gallery this entire time? At the end of the day, you saved Wallace from a wrongful conviction. You should be proud of yourself for that. I suppose you're right. Maybe I am just overthinking things. The doubt still lingers in your mind. Come on, I'm taking Wallace to the restaurant we went to last time. Do you remember how much that place cost? Don't worry, I have plenty of gold. Am I the only one on this team not making any gold? Why don't you meet us there, Celeste? I need to talk with Tyrion for a moment. Alright, let's go, Wallace. Okay. Yeah. What's up? You activated the empowered eye again, didn't you? She doesn't appear to be praising you. I did. I didn't really have a choice. The Eye of Horus is a powerful tool, Tyrion, but it's twice now that you've used the empowered eye to get out of its current spot. You can't keep relying on it if you want to grow as an attorney. One day you find a witness that the empowered eye won't work on. It's worked for me this far, though. But I suppose you're right. Try to rely on it less next time. And that marked the end of another case in my career as a defense attorney. Another life saved, and another murderer brought to justice. I still couldn't shake this feeling of uneasiness. Was it guilt for what would happen to the faculty staff? Or was it something else?
Episode end. Hell yeah!
Right. Now I have watermelon juice on my fresh shirt. Love that.
God damn it. Episode end.
Oh, because I'm covering most of the D and all.
Episode end.
Or is it? Steven has been talking with the perp for hours. What's that to even ask at this point? Turns out she doesn't trust his testimony. Something about his memories not matching up with the crime scene. You don't think he has magic blight, does he?
No, it's not that.
She found the damn symbol etched into his desk. What'd she call it? The purple mark? Oh, for the love of... Not this again. Look, if the little lady wants to chase the boogeyman, just let her. At least this time she's doing it personally instead of dragging us into it. Asleep. Hey, what's up with...
Who did this to your desk? What has gotten into you? I've already admitted to everything. What more could you possibly want from me? Where did this graffiti come from? What is this symbol? What is the purple mark? I don't know. A student must have done it at some point. Think very hard, Headmaster. When did you receive this purple symbol? Focus on the moment you received this. Wait a minute. I remember it now. But how? Oh. Lady Stewart! Lady Stewart! Arya, what happened? Are you okay?
That was close. My elation over meeting him almost made me forget.
Iris, what are you doing here? Why? I remember now. It was you. You put those ideas into my mind. You're the one who told me to murder Bellwether.
Oh, you humans never fail to amuse me. I didn't make you do anything. Everything you did that day, all the planning, all the preparation, that came from your own mind. And I have to say, it was quite entertaining with the scheme you came up with. You even broke into Miriam's room. I didn't know you had it in you, old man.
You made me forget about our conversation, but how? Illusions can't affect the mind. Magic can't affect the mind.
It's a shame, though. I would have much rather turned Wallace into the antagonist of this chapter. Could you imagine if he turned? It would have been spectacular. Armies of the undead running rampant in the streets. But alas, even I couldn't corrupt his pure soul.
Answer me. Who are you? What are you?
Who am I? I'm the Lord of the Sixth Circle. Whatever that's supposed to mean. Oh, her? Damn. Whoops. Well, I mean, to be fair, main villain reveal in chapter 2? Maybe. think there's some kind of meta at work here though, because why is she talking about chapters? She wanted to make him the antagonist of this chapter? Why are you saying that? How do you know this is chapters? I'm supposed to know these are chapters, not you. Alright, 1 second. Oh. Interesting. It does. Yeah, I mean, this was a full hour for the rest, so good thing I didn't try to, like, get through it on Sunday, not gonna lie, we would have not made it. But also... Yeah. Let's just jump straight into case 3-9. Yes, sir. I'm sorry, Tyrion. There were so many things that I wanted to tell you, so many things that I wanted to show you. But I'm afraid that I can't do that now. I need you to be strong now. This world is bleak, merciless, and unforgiving, but I've seen you. I know how bright the light within you is. Use my eyes. Peer beyond the divine gate as I once did. Use it to reclaim the future. Fucking what now? Episode 3, The Origins of Horrors. Huh? Preposterous. Completely and utterly preposterous. Oh, Jesus Christ, what are you? Is something wrong, Lord Von Sanctus? You filthy rat, you cheated, didn't you? That's right, you're just a cheat and a charlatan. Okay. Do you have any evidence to prove that ridiculous climb? What the f- Who are you? Why do you look like this? Oh my god. Maybe we are saving the world. I must suggest before you could crawl out of whatever rat hole you came from. Do you honestly expect anyone to believe that you could defeat me? Honestly, I'm just as disappointed as you are. I was expecting more of a challenge from House Von Sanctus. I suppose all the gold in the world can buy you a modicum of skill. You little upstart! Ahem! Von Sanctus's acquaintance clears his throat and gestures subtly to the crowd of spectators. Everyone's attention is on him, and you can see the crowd muttering amongst themselves. His undignified behavior probably isn't doing any favors for his public image. Realizing himself, he tries to regain his composure. It's preposterous. He walks away muttering the word preposterous under his breath a few more times. It sounds like he's trying to reassure himself more than anyone else. So, that was something. Yeah, I knew that he'd get angry, but I didn't expect him to make a scene like that. Well, you did insult him. Not to say that he didn't deserve it. Come on, I love seeing these conceited nobles lose their minds when I beat them. It's half of the fun of playing these tournaments. Where's his confidence when we're in the courthouse? Court cases are different. I have to deal with real-world elements during a trial, and that includes Prosecutor Stewen. Prosecutor Stewen, huh? I wonder if she plays chess. Oh, there's a thought. You wonder if she'd be willing to play against you sometime. She can't be any worse than these pampered nobles. Anyways, we should celebrate somewhere in town. Even if he was a pushover, you just beat one of the top-ranked chess players in the kingdom. To be honest, you had your reservations about returning to the city of Orinex. Oh my god. If you weren't facing one of the 4 pillars, you would have never come back here. You'd rather leave the city as soon as possible. I saw a cafe while we were walking around. The food smelled great. I'd really like to go there. You could always go to one of the cafes in the capital. There are plenty of places to choose from there. Trust me, I've traveled around the world. There's nothing better than food from a thriving port city. Alright, I suppose there's no harm in staying a little longer. She does have a point. The city streets seem livelier than when you last saw them. I see a lot of businesses that weren't here before, and they all seem to be very well off. Despite being a port city, Orinex used to look like a ghost town. Has the local nobility been investing in the city? You find that possibility very hard to believe. Ooh, pretty place. You arrive at the cafe that Celeste told you about. As you enter, you're struck by a powerful aroma of freshly baked pastries and coffee. The scent of the baked goods swirls around you. Take a moment to inhale the enticing smells. You have to admit that it's making you very hungry. So, you seek to enter the domain of the Deathbringer songstress. Oh, okay. What? If glory is what you seek, then look no further. For you stand before Mozarika Tudor, Dark Lord of Orinex. I cannot... You're not... Why is everyone 19? As you head further into the cafe, you're approached by a familiar face. Oh, really? A familiar face? Okay, never mind. You do look normal if you don't have your hand in front of your face. Hello. Come on. Rika, is that you? Huh. It appears that my reputation precedes me. How good of you to... Wait, you... Tyrion? You're back! Hi. Why didn't you tell anyone that you were back in town? Do you have any idea how worried we've all been? Do you two know each other? Right. Celeste, this is Mozarika Tudor. I was friends with her when I lived here many years ago. Wait, you used to live here? Yeah. Orinex was actually the town I grew up in. What? You were in such a hurry to leave before. You came here to eat, right? If you're still hungry, I can bring you some of our best dishes on the house. No, I couldn't possibly. Come on, don't be like that. It's been years since I've seen you. And you know how good my food is. Okay, but only for a little while. Because that's a table for the three of you and calls over a waiter. You'll place your orders. Now, tell me everything. I want to know all about what you've been doing since you left. How small is she? If with the hat on, she's barely even the height of Celeste. Also, that sure is. Do I get your profile now that I've met you? I keep thinking I can just look at the whole sprite, but it's just. My food is the best. That's nice though. So, are you going to introduce us? Right. This is Celeste McCoy. She's my bodyguard. Bodyguard? And Celeste, this is... as if I need such introductions. I'm Mozarika Tudor, Dark Lord of Orinex, High Archmagi of the Cadmium Flames, and the proud proprietor of this cafe. Oh, okay. I was friends with her when I used to live here. She's a little eccentric, but she's a good person at heart. Hey, it's also a common folk mage like you. Ah, so you come from the same humble beginnings that I do. Which spells have you mastered? I haven't really mastered any of them. I know what 7 spells are That's 4 more since last time. What? 7? It's almost 4 times the amount that I know. She's learned even more spells. She's picking them up rather quickly. And usurped. Look at you, Mr. Big Shot. You're wearing a suit now. And you even have a bodyguard. You get an office job in a big city. Something like that. I'm actually a defense attorney now. Defense attorney? I see. Is that why you left town with that scary lady? Scary lady? Are you talking about Ruby? Miss Tamara adopted me when my mother passed several years ago. After that, she began training me to become an attorney like her. Wait, you've been studying to be an attorney since you were a kid? Guess that explains why you're so young for a lawyer. I'm 20, and our opposition is 19. I guess we're both pretty young for lawyers. They're not wrong. They're not wrong. I guess. Ace Attorney got me. I know. Ace Attorney has me fucked up when it comes to like how old one would be to actually pass the exam. It's like, oh no, she's been an acting attorney since she was 14. Is not common. Not long. Also, hi Barry, thank you. Yeah, no, absolutely. It's crazy. That's a 19-year-old mercenary? Yeah, I guess you got me there. Are you the owner of this cafe, Rika? You always spoke about opening one when we were kids.
Yep,
And it's all thanks to the Dracogen Trading Company. The company's own invested in my business idea after trying my food. Because of him, I was able to open up here just like I've always dreamed. Dreamed? Dracogen Trading Company? I don't think I've heard of them. They're pretty small right now and they're only operating in Oronex. But I hear that they're planning to expand the operations to Rivengard. I would have thought the Lord von Sanctus would have weeded out any competition. After all, he owns one of the largest businesses in the kingdom. Lord von Sanctus, isn't he the pompous noble that I beat in a chess tournament this morning? Wait, that was you? I didn't even know he was a businessman. Von Sanctus Industries invented those arcane constructs that we saw at the Imperial Academy. How do you not know about these things? You practically fight against nobles for a living. Maybe you should start reading more about national politics. Yeah, Francisco's a very special case, not gonna lie. Is it just me or does the city look less depressing than before? Oh right, you left the city before the new merchants appeared. New merchants? Like from a merchant's guild? Yeah, the Dracogen Trading Company was one of the first ones. They started operating here and bought the Arcane Refinery a few years ago. After that, merchants from all over Rivengard started coming here. Well, being based in a port city would definitely give them an edge. And their presence has really helped the city's economy. They aren't owned by the nobility and they pay their employees a lot more than Von Sanctus does. It's really improved the quality of life for the people here. I doubt Von Sanctus appreciates competition though. These two voices are too familiar. Fuck this. There's even talk about forming employee-run unions. Oh, Von Sanctus definitely won't appreciate that. All sucks to be him. Unionize! Unionize! Union! So, you still play chess? Yep, I'm nationally ranked too. I heard that an upstart commoner defeated Lord von Sanctus at a tournament this morning. I had no idea they were talking about you. Upstart commoner? The name suits you, Tyrion. Do you still do that thing when you play? No. What thing? Nothing. She's not talking about anything. Wait, you're actually embarrassed about it? When you were kids, you did it even more than I did. What? What did he used to do? Why don't you show her, Tyrion? I'd rather not. Come on, show us, Tyrion. No, the thing. I think I'm a little too old for this. You're never too old to tap into your inner tuning. She's embracing it clearly. Do it, Tyrion. Yeah, do it. Two of them begin chatting, trying to pressure you. It draws the attention of the other patrons in the cafe. Don't seem to care about the confused looks that they're getting. It seems that you don't have a choice. You take in a deep breath. Those who stand in the shadows, those who fear the light of divinity, your Imperials will fall and your armies will perish. Kneel and cower before the divine gaze of the eye of Horus. You're trying the hardest to contain the laughter. Well, that's why I don't do it anymore. No, that was great. It was really cool, Tyrion. Poorly contained laughs are coming out between each word. And why are you laughing? You were just doing it a moment ago. Yeah, but she owns it. You used to say something else before too. I won't let anyone stand in my way, even if they're a man, king, or god. Yeah, that's it. He still says it sometimes. Oh, looks like our order's here. Alberta brings in a lunch special for each of you. Enticing aroma of the meal makes you salivate a little. Oh, you gladly devour the meal. Rika's cooking is just as delicious as you remembered. You spend some more time catching up with her while you finish your meal. As your conversation continues, you and Celeste regale her with stories of your past court cases. No, really? Yep, it turned out that I was the headmaster the entire time. Ah, I would have never figured that out. Good evening! How did you know, Tyrion? Maybe he saw it with his eye of Horus. You nearly choke on your drink before you realize what she's actually referring to. Wow, I can't believe it. I never thought court cases could be that dramatic. The second, actually. There was a second one we were at. But yeah, we did finish it, so we And we only started this one like 20 minutes ago. So we're now in case 3. No one's died yet. You finish your meal as you continue to tell Rika more about your cases. It's nice being able to talk with her again. You tried so hard to leave everything behind after what happened, but you're happy that she seems to be doing well. Well, it's been nice catching up with you, Rika, but I think it's time for us to get going. What? But we just got here. It's okay. I'm sure you're pretty busy nowadays. I won't keep you any longer. But be sure to write, okay? Don't just go and disappear like last time. Yeah, I'll stay in touch. You better. I really hope she's not the one that's gonna die in this one, because I would be very sad. She's probably the one we're going to have to defend, but I really... You exit a cafe and make your way to the local merchants guild to rent a carriage. The city streets seem a bit more crowded than usual. It's a little difficult to make your way through them. Hey, Tyrion? Yeah? Celeste is fidgeting with her hands. She looks like she wants to say something, but every time she starts to speak, she quickly stops herself. This happens a few more times before she seems to give up. Never mind, it's nothing. Okay. You both continue to walk silently as you make your way to the Merchants Guild. As you make your way there, the streets become more and more crowded. I hope the traffic won't interfere with the ride home. Hi, can we rent a carriage to travel to Rathholm? Sorry, but travel outside of the city is temporarily closed. What? Why? Haven't you heard? The Knights of the King's Guard have locked down the city. They set up a blockade and everything. Check the city gates if you don't believe me. As you arrive at the city gates, you see the blockade that the merchant was talking about. A crowd of disgruntled townsfolk are angrily shouting at the knights stationed there. This is outrageous! How long do you plan on keeping us here? Sorry, but we have our orders. We can't let anyone outside of the city until our investigation is complete. It's an investigation? Did something happen? Can you at least tell us what's going on? Why is the entire city being blockaded? Sorry, sir, we're not allowed to release that information. You just have to make other arrangements while we sort this out. Actually, I haven't seen you two around before. I'll need to take down your names and occupations for our records. What? Why? It's fine, Celeste. I'm better off just cooperating with them. It's an invasion of privacy, but you'd rather not resist orders from the King's Guard. Defending with a friendship discount, yeah! I'm Tyrion Cuthbert, I'm a defense attorney. Oh, fine. I'm Celeste McCoy, bodyguard. Thanks. You look over to the other King's Guard. They seem to be taking notes of the people there too. They must be making a list of everyone inside the city. For what reason? A blockade has been created around the city of Orinox. This blockade is preventing anyone from leaving or entering the city. The King's Guard have taken careful note of everyone that is currently contained within the blockade. I have an important engagement tomorrow. What am I supposed to do now? This can't possibly be legal. Townsfolk continue shouting at the knights, but it's clear they won't be budging anytime soon. What do we do now? You notice that it's starting to get late. We don't know how long the city will be blockaded. We should find a place to stay overnight just in case. You walk into a nearby tavern and see it absolutely crowded with patrons. It's like everyone else had the same idea. Hey, welcome to Egwene Tavern. What can I do for you? We get 2 rooms for the night? Sorry, I can't even spare 1 room. They're completely full with the blockade and all. Wait, let me take care of this. Celeste takes out a large pouch of gold and plops it on the innkeeper's desk. Oh, would you look at that? One of our rooms just opened up. Only one? No, the entire city's locked down. Even with your gold, that's the best I can do for you. What? Embarrassed to share a room with me, Tyrion? No, it's just... You realize that she's just teasing you like she usually does. Best not to give it any mind. It's better than nothing. So, how should we... I was just kidding before. You can have the bed, I'll just sleep on the floor. That is clearly a bed wide enough for 2 people. Just fucking... Ah! What? I can't just let you... Please, we may both be commoners, but you live a cushy life in the city. I'm a mercenary. I've lived on the road for years. I sleep like this all the time. Just got you there. Alright, but tell me if you change your mind. Oh my.
The bed is clearly big enough for 2 people.
Yeah. Hey, I didn't see you there. I was just walked past him. What? Oh. Hey, watch it. Quit shoving me. What? Holy crap, pull me up. I can't hold on for much longer.
You idiot, what are you doing?
What? Grab his arm and pull him up. What's happening? My hand. What the hell are you doing? Your grip is too tight. Stop that. I can still... It? No. What happened? I should have been able to... Scale. Lord, he fell in. I can use this. That's right. I can still make this look like it was all his fault. Oh. Huh? I'm so... Huh? Maybe it is a job where there's only one bed, yeah. Find yourself falling into a nightmare. Tyrion, I'm so sorry. I can't believe they made you watch. Are you okay? Of course not. Are you going to keep finding them? Your voice is quiet. Your question barely comes out as a whisper. What? Are you going to keep fighting the nobility? I don't know if I can anymore. Today they showed me what they're truly capable of. I was naive. I thought that the truth would prevail, but I'm only one person. I can't do this alone anymore. So you're just going to give up? You're the only one who will fight against them. If you're just going to give up, then was my mother's death truly pointless? I'm sorry.
That's not the voice I gave her.
Teach me how to be like you. What? You said that you can't do this alone anymore, right? So teach me how to be a defense attorney. I can help you. We can fight them together. Tyrion, you're just a child. I can't just... It's tomorrow, please. I don't have anything left. Please just take me away from here. Clutch your hand tightly. Your hand? Oh, feeling the fading warmth of the final message that your mother left for you. It's the last comforting memory you have of her. It's a memory that you never experience again. Mom. Oh no! What did they make him watch? I'm so lost. You startled awake. After some confusion, you realized that was all a dream. You didn't have any trouble falling asleep, but your slumber was less than restful. It's been a while since you've remembered that day. It's all the more reason to leave the city as soon as possible. Celeste, are you up? Huh? That's a new sprite! Celeste was wistfully staring out the window, watching the rain. Her head whips towards you when she realizes that you're awake. Are you okay? What's wrong? Nothing. It's nothing. He wasn't awake, was he? Oh? She doesn't seem to be keen on sharing. It'd be best not to pry. Anyways, do you know if the city is still under lockdown? I haven't checked yet. I was waiting for you to wake up. Oh, okay. That's nice. You go outside and check the city gates. The blockade still hasn't disappeared. In fact, it looks like it's been fortified with even more knights. It's like we can't leave yet. Even double down on the guards. What's going on here? Tyrion! You spot Rika in the distance as she calls out to you. As soon as she sees you, she breaks out into a full sprint towards you. She looks exhausted. Has she been looking for you in the rain? Tyrion, it's terrible. There was an accident at the Arcane Refinery last night. One of my friends who worked there, he fell into a vat of chemicals. He's dead. Oh, Rika, I'm so sorry. If there's anything I can do... Lord von Sankrik is blaming the Dracagen Trade... I cannot pronounce that. Dracagen Trading Company. He's trying to charge the owner with criminal lesions. You use easy up to pronounce words, I'm begging. As a lord of this region, von Sanctus would have a lot of leverage in a legal battle like this. He must be using this accident as an opportunity to oust Dracagen from his territory. Tyrion, you're Laura, aren't you? Can you help them? I don't think I can. What? But... Rika, I specialize in homicide cases. Most of my clients are mages who've been charged with murder. I've never even tried a case like this before. If there isn't any magic involved, then there's no killer. Don't worry, I'm sure that the Dragon Trading Company knows plenty of qualified attorneys who can help. I'm not so sure about that. Think about it. A lord from one of the 4 pillar families is pressing those charges. Do you honestly think anyone else will try to fight them on this? She has a point. There aren't many attorneys who will go against the nobility under any circumstances. The only ones who will do that are you and Mr. Mora. Alright, I'll see what I can do. Really? Please don't get your hopes up. I have very little information to work with right now, and to be perfectly honest, I'm really out of my element. That's okay, I'm sure that Mr. Dracagan will take any help he can get. Mr. Dracagan? He's the owner of the Dracagan Trading Company. He should be at the old Arcane Refinery right now. It must be the scene of the accident too. It would probably be best to start the investigation there. I've been away from the shop for too long, so I can't come with you. But drop by the cafe if there's anything I can do to help. Okay, she is not the defendant. She's also not involved aside from, hey, I know a guy. Who knows a guy? And you know what? Surprising? But also nice. You follow Rika's directions and move through the city's industrial district. It reminds you of your childhood, back when you couldn't control the air of horrors. You always avoided this part of the city. It was always covered with an overwhelming fog of misery and fatigue. However, you feel less of that now. Is it because you have more control over your powers, or has something else changed? Oh, wow. That sure is a refinery. Alright, we're here. You have hit the refinery and see that there aren't many people around. The few people you do see appear to be from the City Watch. Operations must have been halted after the accident. Wow, so this is an arcane refinery. I always saw this place as a child, but I never really understood what they do here. Those machines refine the arcane crystals that are used in artificery. Those crystals are used as a power source for conducting magical energy. You look around and spot an especially frustrated individual. He seems to stand out from the knights and cleaning staff. He gets his own sprite! Could he be the guildmaster Rika spoke of? He takes notice of you as you head further into the refinery. Hello there, you must be the attorney that Miss Tudor spoke about. I am. I take it that you're the guildmaster of the Dracagan Trading Company? Yes, my name is Stephanie Dracagan. I'm pleased to make your acquaintance. You're 70! They do not shy away from making people old, which is really nice. But then every single young person is just 19. I really appreciate you lending your aid in this matter. I already told Rika this, but I've never tried a civil case before. I would need to learn more about what happened before I can decide whether or not I can represent you. I'm honestly not sure how much help I can be. Well, there's no single attorney in Oronax that will represent me, so I'll accept whatever help I can get. Celeste was right. All of the attorneys are too afraid to stand against Lord Von Sanctus. Being 19 means that your senpai who graduated. Ooh, senpai graduated! Senpai didn't die. Senpai's furthering the education. Where should we start, though? This case is probably different from the homicides that we're used to. Homicide or not, the case revolves around a wrongful death. If I did represent Dracagan, I would need to prove that he wasn't at fault for the accident. To do that, we should start by finding out exactly how and why the accident occurred. I have actually seen the first season. According to all of my logs on various anime watch sites, but I don't retain a single memory of the first season. Aside from like the one scene where the black-haired girl is like moving back her hair out of her face, that's like extremely detailed in its animation. But that's about it. We should also question the witnesses who saw the victim when it happened. And it wouldn't hurt to take a look at the scene of the accident either. The guildmaster would have a lot of knowledge about the refinery's operations. Questioning him might also give you some insight into what happened. Ah, sounds good. When we think, oh, there's a lot! They truly do act like these people are just gone from your life after they graduate. It's crazy. Like, oh no, it's a last chance for us senpai to make it to the big sports event. We have to win for them. Okay, your senpai is going to go to university and can still play basketball at the university. Calm down. I eat it up every time. I'm a big sports anime fan. I eat it up anytime, but still, it's like, calm down. To start, could you tell us exactly what happened? Well, all began during the work rush yesterday evening. One of my employees fell from the walkway into a vat of magical chemicals. These chemicals contain extremely volatile and destructive evocation magic. Because of that, he unfortunately died before we could have pulled him out. I see. But that all just sounds like an unfortunate accident. Why is Lord von Sanctus blaming you for what happened? There are guardrails on the walkways to prevent people from falling. Supposedly, those guardrails broke apart when an employee tried to lean against it. According to von Sanctus, the accident was a direct result of my negligence to maintain the refinery. My employees have taken great care to inspect and maintain the facilities. I have no idea how this happened. Is he telling the truth? This could all just be lip service. The only way to know for sure is to inspect the walkway yourself. Makes sense.
For 30 years, there's no next year. Yes! Every time!
Earlier you said that the victim was an employee of yours. Could you tell us more about them? Yes, I hired him just a few months ago. It's a shame what happened to him. He was a young man named Justin Way. Justin? Justin the Way? Sorry. Was he a good employee? He was a hard worker, but he was a bit rough around the edges when he first started. Before working for me, I heard that he'd always spend his time with the local delinquents. Miss Tudor practically begged me to hire him. She told me that she wanted to turn his life around. That does sound like something Nika would do. She always had a habit of getting involved in her friend's personal business. Rika Tudor supposedly begged Stefani Drake again to hire Justin Way. She wanted Justin to turn his life around. Supposedly he used to spend a lot of time with some local delinquents, but has turned his life around since then. When you live a life like Justin's, it helps when you have something to give you some structure and direction. So I decided to give the boy a chance by hiring him. He was clearly a hard worker. He did well to earn his keep. He always followed the rules too, so I have no idea why he was up in that walkway. Wait, he wasn't supposed to be on that walkway? Oh! What do you mean? Earlier you mentioned that Justin wasn't supposed to be on the walkway. What did you mean by that? Well, Justin worked in an entirely different department. He was part of a team that managed packaging and freight. He had no business being inside the refinery building. Freight, not freight, Jesus Christ. Much less the upper walkway. Strange to say the least. Was he the type of person to wander around places that he's not supposed to? No, like I said before, he always followed my rules. It all just makes this whole situation that much more confusing. Justin Way was a star employee. He was always known to follow all of Stefani Drakogan's rules and regulations. He worked in an entirely different department and wasn't supposed to be anywhere near the refinery walkway. Drakogan has no idea why he was in the refinery before the accident. That is weird. Was there anyone around when the accident occurred? Did anyone see Justin fall? There were many employees here at the time, but there were only a handful of witnesses who actually saw Justin fall from the walkway. Who were these witnesses? If I remember correctly, Miss Tudor was the one who saw him fall. Wait, Nika was there when it happened? Yes, she witnessed the accident alongside the Harbor Master. Morrison. Oh, you're acquainted with him? I am. Morrison was close friends with your mother when you were a child, but after you left Orinox, you went out of your way to cut contact with everyone from your past. Well, what were all of these people doing here in the first place? Nika is a cafe owner, and Morrison is an armor master. I'm a little concerned about that myself. I'm still unsure about Miss Tudor, but the Arbor Master was accompanied by a nobleman of some sort. A nobleman. I'm not privy to the specifics, but apparently that nobleman had the legal authority to go wherever he wanted to. I would ask Morrison more about that, but it will be awkward to speak with him after all these years. Well, just have to deal with that. Oh, yeah. Well, let me check out the walkway. Ooh. Yeah, that looks extremely inviting. Tyrion, do you need me to scan for magical traces? Well, there aren't any magical elements in this case. Do it anyway! I suppose it wouldn't hurt to check. Alright. Do it! Do it, do it, do it!
Repario Arcanum!
Wow! No magical traces whatsoever, right? Right?
What?
What's wrong? There are traces of transmutation all over the guardrails. Transmutation? You see those traces anywhere else in the walkway?
No, it's only this area.
There are magical traces of transmutation on the guardrail that Justin supposedly broke before falling. These traces are only on the rails that Justin broke. They aren't anywhere else in the walkway. Transmutation is a school of magic that changes the properties of physical objects. Usually mages use transmutation spells to strengthen and repair objects. How did a transmutation spell affect the guardrail? Someone used a spell to change the physical properties of the guardrails. Judging by the current state of the rails, we can only conclude one thing. The spell weakened the structural integrity of the wall. Wow. To be honest, obviously I do have my problems with the English language, especially when it comes to pronunciation, but I feel like someone not as well versed in the English language would be absolutely lost with some of these things. It's just like, yes, the structural integrity. What do you even do if you haven't heard some of these words before in your life ever? Oh, sorry, okay, excuse me, the corrosiveness then? Case in point? No? What do you want from me? What does transformation do to the guardrails before Justin fell? The business of the walkway, huh? Oh, the guardrail itself, my bad. Not the walkway, the guardrail. There we go. Ah, I'm smart. Someone used a transmutation spell to weaken the guardrails. Afterwards, the guardrails were so weak that Justin accidentally broke them. Only these guardrails were weakened. Sabotaged rails are right next to this vat of corrosive chemicals too. What was the intention of weakening the guardrails? There was a clear intention behind the actions of this unknown mage. Wait, unknown mage? Judging by what happened, that intention can only be one thing. The unknown mage wanted someone to fall off of the walkway into the vat. Aren't both of these the same thing, technically? Okay. Whoever sabotaged the guardrail wanted someone to fall into the vat. Why else would they only target those specific guardrails? Why? Who would do this? You can feel your fist clenching tightly. Someone committed murder using magic here, and whoever did this had the gall to try to cover it up. Tyrion, you won't forgive whoever did this. When you're through with them, you will make them feel a fraction of the misery that your mother... Tyrion! What?
What? Hello!
Okay. Are you okay? Right, sorry. Anyways, if it weren't for your detect magic, everyone would have written this off as an accident. Magical traces are only detectable for 48 hours after a mage casts a spell. It means whoever cast a transmutation spell did so recently. Right. The mage must have sabotaged the guardrail within the last 48 hours. They clearly intended for someone to break the rail and fall into the bed. My brother in Christ, what are you doing over there? Hello? What do you have? Oh. You ever see a cat jumping around? You're like, what is it? What are you catching? What is it? I don't know the English word for it though. Hold on. Apparently, he thought, wow, really? Really? Cable tie, a zip tie. Cable tie. Cable strap. Okay, that makes sense. Cable tie. Apparently, that is a fun thing to play with. Not like they have proper proper things to play with. What do I get if I... Thank you. I want to check... No. This one out as well. There's of evocation magic on the chemicals in these bats. Since evocation is a school of magic for spells that create and disperse energy. These chemicals probably induce some sort of magical reaction to create arcane crystals. Okay, that does make sense, thank you. Can I check them out without magic? Looks like the guardrails completely broke apart. The rails are completely rusted too. I was checking and lying about properly maintaining the site. It's a vat of dangerous magical chemicals. Supposedly, they're corrosive enough to dissolve anyone unfortunate enough to fall into it. Celeste is watching you carefully. She can be a little overprotective at times. Well, I'd rather not fall into that thing, so good that she is taken care of. Diabo! You arrive at Diabo in search of Morrison, the Diabo Master. However, you notice a large concentration of knights in the shipping area. Notably, the Arcane Inquisition is among them. You spot Commander White and Prosecutor Stewart coordinating the knights there. I wonder what those two are doing here. The knights at the blockade said that they were investigating something. There must be magic involved if the Inquisition is here. Do you think this has anything to do with what happened to Justin? I doubt it. We didn't see any Inquisition knights at the refinery. It must just be a coincidence. You're probably right. I'm kind of curious about what the Inquisition is investigating. It has nothing to do with our case. It will most certainly have something to do with our case sooner or later. It'd be best to leave them to their business. Alright. Are you there? You best clear out. The knights have closed the Alba. Morrison? Huh? Do I know you? Wait, Cuthbert, is that you? Hey! Hi! I heard from little Mosarika that you were back in town. What can I do for you? No! I cannot do a proper British accent, so if that ever comes out, it's not on purpose. We heard that you were at the refinery yesterday. From what we heard, you witnessed the accident. We wanted to ask you some questions about what you saw. Oh, right. Mosarika mentioned that you're an attorney now. What? I just hope you're not still hung up over the business with your mother. Sorry, I guess it's none of my business. Anyways, I'll tell you what I know. That's nice. Don't ever mention my mother again, though. Drakigan told us that you witnessed the accident. It was a horrible thing what happened. No one deserved what happened to that poor lad. Did you tell us what you saw? Well, showing a patron around town. For some reason, he really wanted to take a look at the refinery. Something about checking out the local artificery. He must mean artificery. Anyways, he was looking at the machinery, then suddenly Mosarika came running towards us. She was trying to tell us something, but the damn machines were too loud for us to hear her. After a while, she just pointed at the walkway, and we saw a horrible sight. We saw someone fall into the vat. By the time we could get them to stop the machines, it was too late. What is up with what you know so far? Or what was Rika even doing there? She should still have been running the cafe at the time of the accident. And that patron who was visiting the factory, I think they also witnessed the accident. Could you tell us how Justin fell over the walkway? Was it because the guardrail broke under his weight? Yeah, he did, but it was a little strange. The guardrail was made out of metal, yeah? But the way it broke, you would have thought it was made out of cardboard. He barely leaned on it and just broke apart. Even a poorly maintained guardrail shouldn't have broken that easily. Someone really used transmutation magic to sabotage it. If so, that possibility could clear Drakigan's name. But presenting a possibility of a magical crime might just complicate things.
Thank you. That'll be your ankle.
You mentioned that you were escorting a patron when the accident happened. Who was he? Did he witness the accident too? Hey, he was right there with me when Rika was trying to get our attention. It'd be hard to miss it with the commotion she was making. As for who he was, he said his name was Aster. Aster? You don't know anyone by that name. But why does that name sound familiar? Do you know what his surname was? No, the lad was really secretive with his last name for some reason. He must have had a recognizable name. Is he a noble from a well-known house? On the night of the accident, Mosarika Tudor frantically approached Noah Morrison and the man named Asta. She tried to tell them something, however they couldn't hear her over the noise produced by the refinery machines. They noticed that Mosarika was pointing at the walkway, so they looked there. There they saw a figure lean on a guardrail and break it. Figure fell from the walkway and into the vat of corrosive chemicals. That must have been an awful death. Like... Anything else? Yes, the blockade. Why were you escorting this ass in the first place? Don't you have to manage the album? Well, I can't really manage anything because of that. You can just towards the Inquisition Knights carrying the pier. They block all sea travel out to the city till this mess is sorted out. I have a lot of knights investigating the Arbor. Do you know what they're looking for? Well, you didn't hear this from me, but according to them, Master's ship just up and vanished in the dead of night. Vanished? Hasn't someone hijacked it? That's the thing. The guards would have noticed if someone had driven off with the ship, especially one of that size. From what I heard, one of the guards could have sworn that they saw it vanish in a flash of light. Flash of light, like something created by a spell. What kind of ship was it? Do you know how big it was? From the size of it, they said it was probably a galleon. A galleon? A spell of that scale would have had to be pretty powerful to affect a ship of that size. I wonder who this Asta person is. He must be high profile if they're calling in the King's Guard and the Inquisition for him. All of a missing ship. You spent some time with him, am I correct, Morrison? Did he tell you where he was staying? If I remember right, he's staying at a local inn near the town square. Wait, that's the tavern that we were staying at. If he's this high profile, why is he staying at an inn for commoners? No idea. He's an eccentric one for sure. Whoever he is, he also witnessed the accident. You definitely want to speak with him. And if he's a noble, there's a chance that he's the mage to sabotage the guardrail. Let's get to the tavern then. See if we see the guy. See if we see him. Morrison said that Asta's staying in one of the rooms at this tavern. Oh, which room is it? We could always just check each room. That might irritate the patrons though. And if Asta doesn't want to be found, we might alert him if we annoy too many people. I guess you're right. Your family owns a tavern, right? If you had to put a VIP somewhere, which room would you choose? So it would probably be the one at the end of the hallway. Also, what does he mean? Your family owns a tavern, right? You were there. You stayed there. It was the entire first fucking case that took place there. Your family owns a tavern. Yeah, they do. Huh? That's the one I use at my family's tavern. I know. I was there. According to Celeste's intuition, the innkeeper would have probably given Asta this room. You approach the door and firmly knock on it. Hello? Someone does come to answer the door, but they only open the door a fraction of the way. The crack in the door is less than an inch wide. You can't get a good look at the person's face. I'm terribly sorry, but if your business isn't urgent, I'd like to be left alone. Sorry if I'm intruding, but are you Asta? My name is Tyrion Cuthbert. I'm the defense attorney of Stefani Drac again. From what I've heard, you witnessed the accident at the refinery yesterday. I was wondering if I could ask you a few questions about what you saw. Oh, upon hearing your name, the man fully opens the door and you're finally able to get a good look at him. That sure is an outfit. He definitely stands out from the other patrons of the inn. He must be the wealthy patron that you're looking for, but why do you not have eyes? Tyrion Cuthbert, the protege of the infamous Ruby Tamora. So you know who I am. No, funnily enough, I think these are just very tight pants because here you can see how there's, oh god, I don't know what you actually call that part of pants. But I think they're just very tight fitting. Less of a bodysuit though, because it certainly ends here. It's a very small spot where you can see that the top goes into the pants. I do like the choice of here though. We have the same sleeves. We have the same kind of sleeves. I do. I know you very well. I'm your biggest fan! Oh. Yeah, okay, your outfit is an experience. What? I can't believe it! The infamous Tyrion Cuthbert is standing right in front of my tavern room! What? I've read all about your feats, Mr. Ah! Yeah, okay, these are just some very tight-fitting pants. Good for you. You successfully indicted the head of House Pierce. You didn't think twice about confronting a member of House Frigga. And you even defeated Lord von Sanctus in a chess tournament yesterday. I'm so lost right now. And you must be Celeste McCoy, Tyrion's first client and the Crimson Demon of the Eastern Kingdoms. How did you find out about that name? Crimson what? Don't ask. Anyways, if you are Asta, does that mean that you witnessed the accident with the Arbor Master yesterday? Yes, I did. Are you going to interrogate me about what I saw? I'll answer whatever questions you have. You've never met a witness that has been this eager to cooperate. But hopefully this means that he won't hide any details about what he saw. Well, that certainly sounds fun. Hello. You clearly know who I am, but I'm still unsure of who you are, Asta. My apologies, but I would prefer to keep my full identity hidden for now. He's within his right to do so, but you can't help but feel a little suspicious. In any case, what is your business in Oryx? I was accompanying a ship transporting goods to Lord von Sanctus. The same ship that was magically stolen? I'm surprised you found out about that. The King's Guards have been trying their best to keep that information hidden. But I suppose I shouldn't expect anything less from you, Mr. Cuthbert. Flattery will get him nowhere. Hi, good evening! I'm good, how are you? What was on that ship? It must be pretty valuable to be worth stealing. I doubt there was anything on that ship worth drawing the eye of the entire kingdom. The truth is, during the time that my ship was stolen, I was supposed to be on it. Let's see. The theft of the ship might actually have been an attempt to kidnap you. It's my current theory anyway, it wouldn't make sense otherwise. He seems awfully calm about this. He's also awfully tall. According to Morrison, you were also in the refinery that night. Did you witness the moment the victim fell into the vat? I did. Could you tell us exactly what you saw? Every detail you can remember could be important. Well, it all began when I was visiting the refinery with the Arbor Master. I was inspecting the refinery's machines when a girl frantically ran towards us. She was hysterical. It looked like she was trying to tell us something, but we couldn't hear her over the noise of the machines. When she realized that we couldn't hear her, she simply pointed at the walkway. That's when we saw Justin Wei fall off of it and into the vat. This next question is very important. Did you see the victim break the guardrail by leaning on it? Yes, he broke the guardrail before he fell. His testimony matches exactly with what Morrison saw. Both Noah and Asta's testimonies match each other identically. The way he fell was very strange, though. Strange? What could he mean by that? Huh? Strange? You mentioned the way the victim fell was strange. Did you feel like the guardrail broke too easily? Yes, how did you know? It matches with the statement that the Arbor Master gave us. You don't want to reveal the traces of transmutation that you found on the walkway, at least not yet. But yes, the guardrail broke the moment that Justin leaned on it, and his body was extremely limp when falling too. His body was limp. And normally when falling from a great height, one would flail their arms, yes? And when I saw him falling, he wasn't moving at all. He wasn't moving. Did you see the expression on his face? He might have been unconscious. I'm afraid I couldn't see anything on his face. It was much too dark to make out his features. Wait, you didn't actually see his face? How did you know it was actually him that fell in? Well, who else could it have been? No one else has been reported missing. They also found the remnants of Justin's body in the vat. It was definitely him that fell in. It's true. You don't have much reason to believe that Justin might still be alive. There were traces of transmutation magic at the crime scene, and it appears that Asta is quite a high-profile individual. He's probably a mage, and aside from Rika, he was probably the only other mage at the refinery that night. Probably. If you ask him outright, you might be able to see something incriminating through the eye of Horus. If he is a noble, he wouldn't actually shy away from saying that he's a mage in the first place, though. Right? Asta, we respect your privacy if you don't want to tell us who you are. But could you at least answer one question for me? I can make no promises, but I'll do my best to tell you what I can. Are you a mage? Oh, is that all? Yes, I'm a mage, and I'm quite a practiced one at that. You see, Celeste cast that detect magic to look at the scene of the accident, and we found traces of transmutation magic at the crime scene. Namely on the guardrails that Justin fell through. What? Here it is. I can't believe it! What? Are you telling me that a mage used transmutation magic to weaken the rails? It's a conspiracy. Wait, does that mean this was actually a murder made to look like an accident? It's like something out of the reports I read about him. I don't see anything incriminating, and you can see his thoughts clearly. His feelings of happiness are a bit off-putting, though. And you asked me if I was a mage. Does it mean that I'm a potential suspect? This is the greatest thing to ever happen to me. This is the first time we've met someone that's happy to be suspected of murder. Sorry, it's not right of me to get excited about something this serious. Think less of me now. It's like something right out of a mystery novel. It's not the reaction you were expecting. Nevertheless, it doesn't look like there are any incriminating thoughts in his mind. And the emotions that he was emanating were all positive. There wasn't a drop of fear in there. What does it mean? Either way, it looks like you found out everything you can from Asta. You should move somewhere else. Okay. I will move somewhere else. Whew. Tyrion, you're back! Did you talk to Mr. Drac again? I did. I'm still not sure what to make of him just yet. But after what I've seen today, I don't think I can turn a blind eye to what's happening. There are traces of transmutation magic on the guardrails. I know! This is like the 5th time. Regardless of the motive, someone sabotaged those rails with the intent of harming an employee at the refinery. If this truly was a murder, you have to find out who did this and why. I represent him in court for the criminal case. Thanks, it really means a lot to me. On that note, you were at the refinery when the accident occurred, am I correct? Yes, I was. May I ask you a few questions about what you saw that day? Of course, I'll do whatever I can to help. Oh, time to fill her psychological profile as well. Does that mean I'm going to get into an argument with you? By the way, why were you at the refinery that day? Didn't you have to work at the cafe? I was making a food delivery to Justin. Wait, you were delivering food to the victim? Yeah, he never had the time to make his own dinner, so I always delivered his dinner during his evening break. But that night, I couldn't find him in the freight area, so I went looking for him in the refinery building. So the accident happened while you were delivering his food. Ah. Also, the Katuda was delivering food to Justin Way during the time of the accident. Justin apparently never had time to make food for himself, so she delivered his dinner to him every day. Costa Rica didn't find Justin in the freight area that day, so she went looking for him and spotted him in the refinery building before he fell, where he should not have been because that's not where he was. Weird. What else? Did you talk to Justin at all before the accident? I did. When I finally found him in the refinery building, he seemed busy. He told me to leave his food in the break room. He was busy. According to Draken, he should have never been in the refinery building in the first place. Did he say what he was busy with? He said that he had a meeting scheduled with Mr. Draken. True though, Draken didn't mention anything about this. Unless... Mr. Katsuda briefly interacted with Justin way before the accident. Justin supposedly told her that he was on his way to a scheduled meeting with Stefani Draken. Draken never mentioned this meeting. Thank you for the hydrate time and the pasta check and the pad, and I'll also be saving my game. A lot of things. Let's do this one first. Let's see. Feels good, feels natural. Okay, what else do I have? What did you see? I gotten a few witness accounts already, but I just wanted to double check. What did you see during the accident? Sorry, I'm sure that it was a disturbing sight. Do you need to take a moment? No, it's okay. It happened after Justin told me to leave his food in the break room. It was my first time inside the refinery, so I spent some time looking at all of the machines. That's when I suddenly heard a strange sound from the walkway. When I looked to see what it was, I saw Justin fall from there. I tried to find someone to help him, but no one could hear me because of how loud the machines were. Before we finally got him to understand what happened, it was already too late. Did you see the guardrail break when Justin fell off the walkway? More specifically, did it break from Justin's wife? I'm honestly not sure. I was too busy trying to find help. On the night of the accident, Musudika Tudor saw Justin Wei fall off the walkway. After seeing him fall, she tried to get the attention of Esther and Noah Morrison, but they couldn't understand her because of how loud the refinery machines were. As we have established, the machines of the refinery were too loud for anyone to hear anything. You have matching witness accounts from Aston Morrison. They saw the guardrail break. Having Nika also confirmed that would have been helpful, but I suppose Aston Morrison's statements will have to suffice. Nika's account of what happened is a lot less detailed than Aston Morrison's, but she did see Justin before the accident. I still have no idea why Justin was on that walkway in the first place. According to Nika, he said that he had a meeting scheduled with Drakigan, but this doesn't match with what Drakigan told you. Either Justin or Drakigan must be lying in that case. You've met Drakigan already, but you still have no idea what kind of person Justin was. Perhaps Nika can tell you more. Could you tell us more about the victim? What kind of person was he? He was a good person. He fell in with a bad crowd a few years ago, but he was starting to turn his life around. I saw how much he was trying to change, so I asked Mr. Drakigan to give him a job. I really wanted to help him change his life for the better. But this job just ended up killing him. You can't blame yourself for this. No one could have known that this would happen. I guess you're right. It's hard not to think about, though. Was he the type of person to go places that he wasn't supposed to be? No, not anymore. Not anymore. I really wanted to make a good impression on Mr. Drakigan. He always talked about following the rules. He even got mad at me a few times when I accidentally broke Drakigan's protocols. Great, that matches up with what Drakigan said. Or maybe he was falling back into his old habits. Perhaps Drakigan can tell you more about what he was like before he turned his life around. You mentioned that Justin fell in with a bad crowd before. I've also heard that he used to hang out with a band of local delinquents. Can you tell us more about them? Rika, this information will help us with our investigation. I need to speak with the other people who knew him. Do you know where I could find his delinquent friends? I'm sorry, I really didn't know him that well. Should keep quiet, it might make him mad. Nika, are you hiding something from me? What? Of course not. Good night, Lena. Thank you for coming by. What would the Dark Lord of Orinox possibly have to hide from you? Yeah, she's definitely hiding something. You need to argue against her if you want the truth. Ah, but I haven't filled her psychological profile yet. You don't know him that well, but you delivered food to him. I'm terribly sorry for what happened to Justin. Are you doing okay? Yeah, it's difficult to think about sometimes. You always hear about these things happening, but you never expect them to happen to people you know. But have no fear. It will take more than this to bring down the High Archmaster. I guess we reverted back to a Chuni personality. There we go. No. Time for an argument. Musudika Tudor appears to be hiding something from you. She clearly knows about the bad crowd that Justin fell in with, but she's hiding who they are and where you can find them. You need to convince her to share that information with you. Yes, that's the plan. Ika, you know about Justin's friends, don't you? Just be honest with me. I'm not hiding anything. I really don't know that much about him. I wasn't that close to Justin Wei. I may have delivered his food, but he was just a customer to me. You got him a job. I don't think you do that for people you're not close to. I might have believed that you delivered his food because he was a good customer, but that wasn't all you did for him. You said he was trying to turn his life around. And you backtrack again to set him up with a job. You wouldn't do that for a customer that you barely knew. Well, that still proves nothing. I'm Musarika too, the High Archmagi of the Cadmium Flame. Is it so hard to believe that I took pity on a stranger? I only helped him because I'm a generous person. It would only be right for me to equip a commoner with the means to change his life. You are a generous person. You would have risked a lot by asking Jack again to hire a stranger. You're not a good liar, Rika. You'd risk a lot by asking Jack again to hire a stranger, especially a stranger with a dubious past like Justin. What if Justin fell back into his old ways? That would surely have brought about consequences on you and your business. You wouldn't take a risk like that unless you knew him well enough to trust him. Okay, fine. I guess we were friends. That's a cute sprite. But like I said before, he was trying to leave his old life behind. He always kept his past a secret from me. He didn't like talking about the person he was back then. He wanted to forget about it, and I never brought it up. It's sort of true we knew each other for years before he told me about it. I see something different. I doubt that, Dika. In fact, I'm sure that you were friends for at least a few years. With a friendship that old, I'm sure he would have confided in you about his past. What? No, you need to stay focused. Dika, I don't know why you thought you had to lie about this, but I need to talk to Justin's former friends. Is that really necessary? Yes, I need to know why he was behaving so strangely before the accident. His friends might know something about him that you and Drakigan don't. But that doesn't make any sense. There wasn't anything strange about the way he was acting. I think you're just overthinking this, Tyrion. There wasn't anything strange. He told you he had a meeting. But clearly his boss didn't, well, at least he didn't tell us about a meeting he supposedly had. You didn't want to overplay your hand before, but it looks like you don't have a choice now. Dika, Justin told you that he was heading to a scheduled meeting in Drakigan's office, but according to Drakigan, Justin wasn't even supposed to be in the refinery building yesterday. What? Dika, Justin might have lied to you. No, he would never do that. I need to know why he was up there, and so far, the statements that I've gotten from you and Drakigan don't explain that. I need to talk to people who might know things about him that you don't.
Aha! I'm the winner.
Okay? I'll tell you where you can find them. Just promise me that you'll be safe, okay? Successfully persuaded Musurika to the door. Sorry, I wasn't trying to lie to you. It's okay. I'm assuming you had your reasons. But I need to know where I can find Justin's old friends. I already know already, but a few years ago, Justin got involved with the local street gang. They'd always hang around the beach area. But one day they discovered an abandoned house along the coastline, and they started spending most of their time there. A lone house on the coastline. It's that house, Tyrion. It's probably where you find Justin's old friends. Oh, we know that house. Don't we? So that's why you were being so secretive. What? I'm sorry. Don't be. You were just trying to look out for me, right? Are you going to be okay? I can go there with you if you'd like. No, it's okay. I'm sure you're busy with the cafe right now. And it's not as if I'll be going alone. Alright, just don't push yourself too hard, okay? Yeah. It's the house our mother was killed in. No, I don't actually. No. Clearly, we don't like it much. You arrive at the old abandoned house. Upon looking at the home that you left behind, you're struck with a flood of memories. Okay. We lived here. That's even better. Those memories were once happy, but now they only fill you with grief. Tyrion, are you okay? Yeah, let's look around. You wipe your eyes and begin looking around the house. Suddenly, you hear the sound of glass breaking. You rush to look for the source and see two young teenagers throwing rocks at the side of the house. The shattered remains of her window are lying on the ground. Ha! Nice shot, Gavin! Kevin Crayton. Occupation? None. One of the teens, apparently named Gavin, notices you approaching. If your company, yeah. How do you say that name? That? Yeah? That? Why?
We are looking at how to pronounce this name, as well as how to say more interesting and related names as well. So make sure to stay tuned and consider subscribing for more learning. Forward once you know. Wyatt. And now you.
Wyatt! What in the ever-loving fuck? Never in my life would I have said that right. Wyatt. Huh? You stare blankly at the broken glass lying on the ground. You're at a loss for words. You feel like you should respond, but nothing comes out of your mouth. You suddenly find yourself quickly approaching the two teens. What the hell do you want? A YouTube video explaining how to pronounce it. Which for some reason has its entire little stick about, oh, today we're learning about how to say certain words. Consider subscribing. It's a 35-second video. Obviously, you have to lead with the please consider subscribing before hitting us with the actual instruction I clicked on the video for. What the hell? Before you even realized what you were doing, you threw a punch straight into Gavin's face. Your eyes are slowly tearing up. You can only see red. You grab Gavin by the collar and pull his face close to yours. Get the hell away from my house. Tyrion? Oh, you want to go? If you came looking for trouble, you should have found it. Okay, let's all come down and just stay out of this, you little shit. Uh-oh. Excuse me? What, you got cotton in your ears or something? Yes, actually. Why did you go and repeat what you said? I said stay out of this. You little shit. 5 minutes later. Celeste? Yes? I'm sorry for losing my temper back there. I didn't mean to drag you into this.
It's okay. Our emotions get the better of us sometimes.
Celeste?
Yes?
I think you might have overdone it a bit.
Nah.
Celeste?
Yes?
I don't think he's breathing.
Come on, just give him a second.
You suddenly hear the very bruised and broken form of Gavin sputtering and wheezing on the ground. Celeste?
Yes? I think you killed the guy. Nah.
It looks like he's finally regained consciousness.
See? He's perfectly fine. You're fine.
Ryder is staring wide-eyed at Celeste. From the shaking of his legs, it looks like he wants to run away, but he's too frozen by fear to move.
Don't bother running. Even with a headset, I can easily catch up to you. Anyways, these two are probably just his former delinquent friends, right? Are you okay with talking to them?
Yes, of course. With your emotions in such disarray, you completely forgot why you came here in the first place. Would you two happen to know the young man who died at the refinery yesterday? This after Justin, but he's already dead. After Justin? Was he someone with a grudge against him? Wyatt clearly thinks that you were sent on someone's behalf. It wouldn't hurt to play the part to get more information out of him. We're not here to hurt you. We're not here to hurt you anymore. We'd just like to ask you a few questions about Justin.
Yeah, sure, man. Whatever you want. Alright, you two talk. I'll work on popping Gavin's shoulder back into place.
It's a little disturbing how nonchalantly she says things like that. Don't kill the dude.
He's fine! He's breathing. He's good.
Very realistic outfit. He looks very normal. What can you tell me about Justin Way? According to a few witnesses we spoke to, you used to be friends. Friends is kind of pushing it. We used to hang back in the day, but we don't know more. It's weird when he started talking to us again. I thought he left for good. He's reading again. But he started talking to you again. Why? He just needed some of the old gear that he left at the house. Old gear? What kind of old gear? You know, his thieves' tools. All the tools you need for lockpicking and safe cracking. What's for lockpicking and safe cracking? Why would Justin need those? To lockpick and safe crack? What? What would Justin need lockpicking and safe cracking tools for? Well, he needed to get the gold that he owed your boss. So he owed gold to someone. Our boss? Word has it that he was working for the merchant that owns the refinery. I guess the owner trusted him a lot, just inside that he had a way to get access to the safe in the guy's office. Justin was always a waste when it came to breaking and entering. He even had tools that could crack magical locks. Getting the gold out of the safe would have been an easy score for him. Wait, Justin was planning to rob Jack again? According to Wyatt Ernal, Justin Way owed gold to someone. Justin owned a set of lockpicking and safe cracking tools that could disable mundane and magical locks. He was planning to break into the refinery building, then use his safe cracking skills to rob the safe in Jack again's office. Give me more. Wyatt apparently thinks that you were sent on behalf of someone, and from what he said so far, Justin owed a non-trivial amount of gold to this person. If this person was some kind of criminal, could they have been the one who sabotaged the gauntlet? Did Justin tell you who he owed us up to? No man, he didn't say nothing. Block me too if I told him the truth. So he does know. There's no point in playing dumb, just tell us what he told you. Did he give you a name? Answer the question. The Eye Taker. He owed gold to the Eye Taker. That is... It's nice that we get the clue. But this is very unfortunate programming that we get the profile, of the actual sprite of the person we are most certainly going to meet somewhere in this case still. Could have put a different picture in here. Justin Way supposedly owed a non-trivial amount of gold to an individual named the Eye Taker. Perhaps one of the citizens of Orinox can tell you more about this person. Like, we have not met this NPC yet. Or this character, or whatever. It's so... Wouldn't have put the actual sprite of that person in there at this point, but until the final case. Still, it's According to Wyatt Ernal, Justin Way owed gold to a criminal nicknamed the Eye Taker. Justin owned a set of lockpicking and safe cracking tools that could disable mundane and magical locks. He was planning to break into the refinery building, then use his safe cracking skills to rob the safe in Drakigan's office. Eye Taker? That must be some kind of criminal nickname. Why does that sound so familiar, though? Either way, you need to find out who this Eye Taker is. It might be best to ask someone else. Okay. Anything else I can get from you? Maybe not. Your friend's on the ground still, but he's gonna be fine. Hey, Tyrion? Yeah? Back at the house, what was that all about? I've never seen you get that angry before. And you said it was your house. Yeah, it was my house. It was? Ever since we arrived in the city, you haven't really been yourself. If you want to talk about it, I'm fine. And I don't want to talk about it. You're not fine. I can see it on your face. Please just talk to me. It's none of your business. That came out a lot louder than you wanted it to. Celeste, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to. Without a word, she quickly walks ahead of you. Thanks. Hi, can you tell me more about the Eye Taker? Morrison, do you know what a criminal named the Eye Taker? Eye Taker? Where'd you hear that name? So you do know about them? I do. I tried to keep my distance from him over the years. The Eye-Taker is the criminal kingpin of this region. Every large criminal undertaking in this region happens under his watch. He's that big of a deal?
Of course he is. More importantly, how did you hear about him?
From what I heard, Justin Way owed him a huge debt.
Justin owed them.
I knew he used to run around with a bunch of rogues, but I never imagined
What a skilled lord.
the Eye-Taker might be involved in Justin's death. Do you think someone like him could be behind this? Oh, there's this saying we have about what happens when you get on his bad side. Let's just say he reminds you of why he has that name. So, you know who the Eye-Taker is now. It definitely adds another angle to this case. But there are still some elements of this that don't make sense. We need to take some time to work through it all. We should go talk to Drac again first. He'll want to see everything that we found.
Okay. Someone definitely killed your guy.
Hello, Mr. Cuthbert. I trust you're doing well.
We are.
For the most part. We spent some time looking into the accident and the people who knew Justin. I think there might be more to this case than meets the eye. Oh. You spent some time explaining your findings to Drac again. He seems troubled when you explained the traces of transmutation that you found on the guardrail. He's even more taken aback when you mentioned Justin's supposed plan to rob him. This is quite a lot to take in. Are you missing any valuables in your safe right now? No, actually, but what is it? After the accident, I did a careful inspection of the building. When I checked my office, I noticed that the lock on the safe was disengaged. The safe was opened, but you said there wasn't anything missing. That's right. When I saw the safe open like that, I was already worried that I had been robbed. But I double-checked the contents, everything was accounted for. Because of that, I just assumed I'd forgotten to lock it. This doesn't make any sense. Maybe it was just a coincidence. I might believe that if it weren't for where my office is located. What do you mean? The walkway that Justin fell from leads to my office. There's a window there that overlooks the refinery. That would explain why Justin was there in the first place. I don't want to suspect one of my employees, especially one that isn't alive to defend himself from such accusations. But it just all fits too perfectly together except for one thing. Why wasn't anything stolen? But regardless, I think you have a pretty good case. So does this mean you represent me? After what I've discovered, I won't just stand by and let Von Sanctus have his way. Well spoken. I'm glad to have you on my side, Mr. Cuthbert. Anyways, regardless of why, someone clearly magically tampered with the site of the accident. I doubt the court will find you at fault for what happened. Although... what's wrong? Civil cases are a lot less strict than criminal cases. If you present evidence suggesting foul play using magic, treat us exactly like our other cases. Yeah, they might stall the trial until they find out what exactly happened. For this accident, all we have to go on is witness accounts. Finding concrete evidence of what happened could very well be impossible. But the idea of hunting down the mage responsible sounds very tempting. It looks like you have your work cut out for you. I just hope things turn out okay in the end. And if since Von Sanctus on the other side of this, who knows what might happen? It'd be best to keep your wits about you. I always have my wits about me. Goodness gracious, hello! I can't believe this. I have more important things to do than resolve your petty squabbles for you. Yes, the missing ship of your
Oh. Right! Esther! That's why the name sounded familiar. Oh my god.
Good thing my memory is just as bad as Tyrion's apparently is. Right! Little Miss, I'm so good at school.
They had mentioned the name Esther last time. I forgot.
Listen, the sooner you help me resolve this mess with Drac again, the sooner you can return to being the prince's lapdog.
The prince? Ah! Okay, yes, Here goes that identity.
That is to say, once I'm not preoccupied with this case, House Von Sanctus can provide the resources that you and the Inquisition need. I suppose I don't have a choice, do I? At least this case should be relatively straightforward.
Hi. I'm gonna be the defense for that case. Nice to meet you.
She's probably also just going to be like, what the fuck are you doing? Court is now in session for the trial of Stefanik Drakigan. Execution is ready, Your Honor. The defense is also ready. Very well. Let's begin proceedings. Prosecutor Stewin, please list the charges. The defendant is charged with criminal negligence in the death of Justin Way. The death occurred at the Oronox Arcane Refinery last night. Mr. Wayne was... Way! I keep saying Wayne. Mr. Way was an employee of the Drakigan Trading Company, a company owned by the defendant. I know, she would. No. It just... It is very funny. She's like, oh, this is gonna be straightforward. Sure, whatever, I'll do it. She walks in here and she's like... Why are you here for a civil case? And I'm just standing over there like, you know, murder using magic. Give me 5 minutes to explain. During work hours, the victim accidentally broke a poorly maintained safety rail and fell into a vat of corrosive chemicals. Attempts to save his life failed, and his body almost fully dissolved. Oh, that's crazy. I see. What a gruesome end. The defendant displayed clear negligence in maintaining the refinery's facilities. Assessed your responsibility for Mr. Way's death falls squarely on his shoulders. To begin, the prosecution would like to call Noah Morrison to the stand. Witness, please state your name and occupation for the court. Yes, the name's Noah Morrison. I'm the Arbor Master of Oronox Arbor. It's my understanding that you witnessed the accident that night. Am I correct? Aye, I did. Could you please testify to the court about what you witnessed? I was showing a visitor around the city, and for some reason he really wanted to see the Oronox of Arcane. Negligence. Negligence! What's your problem now? Negligence? I was showing a visitor around the city, and for some reason he really wanted to see the Oronox Arcane Refinery. He was inspecting the machines there when suddenly Musarika ran up to us. She was desperately trying to tell us something, but there was just too much noise. After a while, she just pointed at the walkway overlooking the refinery. That's where we saw someone fall into that cursed vat. Negligence? Negligence? You guys are just making it worse. What the fuck is that even supposed to be pronounced as? Negligence? There was a guardrail that should have prevented him from falling, but he broke through it as he fell. So there was a safety rail that should have protected the victim. Yes, however, upon closer inspection, the city guard found that the rails were extremely rusted. They were clearly poorly maintained by the company. I see, this, what I now refuse to ever say again, is the basis of the prosecution's charges. Are you going to present the traces of transmutation that we found? I can't help but feel like there's something in Morrison's testimony that doesn't add up. Right now, those traces are the only defense we have against Von Sanctus' accusations. It's not a piece that I want to use just yet. And once you use that piece, who knows how the judge will react. Not much has changed with Morrison's testimony. However, you've collected a lot more evidence since you last spoke to him. Is there anything you found that contradicts his testimony? Well, let's try it then. Yeah, I am. Because believe it or not, even if I asked for corrections, it does sometimes feel really bad to just have it be the only thing that comes up. It's like, hey, Noah, you said this one wrong. And Noah, you said this one wrong again. I have a limit of maybe 2 words I can learn in one stream and then hopefully remember. And I thought for once I actually had a word right. Guess not. You mentioned that you saw someone fall into the vat. Did you recognize the person? Well, I didn't know the lad personally, and it was pretty far away. I couldn't get a good look at that person. Maybe I should keep a pin on that detail. Anyways, could you go into more detail about the moment you witnessed the accident? Of course. What did you want to know about? Wait, what happened to the guardrail before Justin fell? What happened to the guardrail before Justin fell? Well, I saw him lean on it. Should have prevented him from falling off of the walkway. But the rail just broke the instant he put his weight on it. That's how he fell into the vat. Let's see, could you please include that detail in your testimony? If you think it'll help. The guardrail that should have prevented him from falling, he broke through it as he fell. Good. I press you on this one again. And also ask what Lika was doing. What was Musarika doing the moment you saw Justin fall? I told you, didn't I? She was the one who pointed to the walkway in the first place. That's how we saw Justin fall. I see. Could you please include that detail in your testimony? If you think it'll help. Musarika pointed out that's when we saw Justin fall. Did she though? Because she tried to get the attention of them after he fell. Like, she saw him fall and then tried to get people to help. And now he's saying Lika was pointing it out and then they looked. Could you please actually add like 1/30 of the damn testimony to your testimony?
Objection!
Sometimes I do feel like some kind of like angry chihuahua just biting at these people's ankles like, come on! Say the same thing you told me earlier! Come on! Like either you were lying to me earlier or you're lying on the stand right now. And to be fair, lying on the stand is worse. That has the worst consequences for you. Bah. Wait, what? Witness, you said that you saw the victim fall into the vat. Did this happen before, during, or after Musarika tried to get your attention? It was definitely after. If it weren't for the commotion she made, I wouldn't have looked up there in the first place. Just as he thought, but what does this mean? Maybe two people fell in. Maybe two people fell in. Tried to make she knew it. Just this tiny, fluffy, pink thing going absolutely. I don't know how to draw animals either, so it's sadly out of my depth, but she knew it. Morrison, I spoke with Musarika about what she saw. She said that she saw Justin fall off of the walkway and then rush to you for help. Ah, that sounds about right. No, Morrison, it actually doesn't. Do you mean? If Musarika saw Justin fall before she went to get help, then how did you see him fall after she came to you for help? What? Morrison, Musarika came to you for help. This was in reaction to seeing Justin fall off of the walkway. If that's true, then how could you have possibly seen Justin fall off of the walkway again afterward? I have no idea. Mr. Cuthbert, you're disputing the witness's testimony over a minor detail. It's entirely possible that Mr. Morrison or Miss Tudor simply misremembered. I highly doubt that Morrison misremembered the order of what happened. His testimony matches up exactly with the testimony of his companion. Then Miss Tudor must be the one who's mistaken. I'm compelled to agree with Miss Derwent. His conflicting accounts seem extremely minor. The prosecution's case is based on a broken guardrail, and only 3 individuals witnessed Justin Ray break said guardrail. The defense asserts that these 3 witness accounts must be consistent with each other. Otherwise, the evidence is not strong enough to find my client liable. Please, the break in the guardrail is directly over the vat. That is enough physical evidence. It proves that the victim fell in because the railing broke. How do we know that the guardrail wasn't broken by some other event? That's ludicrous. You're clearly just playing devil's advocate. I'll admit that I also found the defense's assertion assertion dubious. However, I see no harm in allowing Miss Tudor to testify to what she saw. Rika saw a lot less than Morrison and Asta did, and her testimony was a lot less detailed. But the one detail she did remember was that she saw Justin fall off of the walkway. Hopefully her testimony might clear up what happened. Bailiff, please escort Miss Tudor to the witness stand.
She's so smart.
Witness, please state your name and occupation for the courtroom. This is probably Rika's first time testifying in a courtroom. We hope she'll be okay. As if I need such introductions, but allow me to indulge you all. Oh lord, is she seriously doing that here? I am Rika Tudor, Dark Lord of Oronex, High Archmagi of the Cadmium Flames, and business proprietor of Sweet Confections. I see. I was not aware we were in the presence of such a renowned individual. Does he actually believe her? Your Honor, Rika Tudor is the owner of a local cafe in Oronex. But isn't she also High Archmagi? I am. No, she really isn't. Tyrion, you're ruining my flow. Yeah, stop ruining your flow, Tyrion. You would say that your flow is the most disrupted right now. Anyways, Miss Tudor, you were at the Oronex refinery on the night of the accident, and you witnessed the moment that the victim fell off the walkway. Am I correct? Yes, that's right. According to your statement, you ran up to Morrison after you saw Justin fall off of the walkway. The problem is that there's a contradiction between both of your testimonies. There's a contradiction? Morrison testified that he didn't see the victim fall into the vat until after you approached him. This wouldn't make sense, though. You saw the victim fall off of the walkway before you ran up to Morrison. Morrison couldn't have possibly seen the victim fall again after that. Oh, I think I see what happened. You do? I think you're misunderstanding what I said before. I misunderstood you. If that's true, could you please testify to the court exactly what happened? Please include every detail you can remember. Sure. I was at the refinery when I heard a strange sound from the walkway. When I looked to see what it was, I saw that Justin had tumbled over the guardrail. But he hadn't fallen into the vat yet. I saw him barely hanging onto the ledge of the platform. Ah! But girl, that is completely different from what you told me yesterday, like literally. Now he's suddenly hanging on the edge. I didn't know how to get to the walkway from there, so I looked for help on the grounds and found Mr. Morrison. He must have seen Justin lose his grip of the ledge and fall into the vat after that. That's an entirely different... Oh my god. So the victim didn't immediately fall into the vat, he was hanging onto the edge of the walkway. That would explain how Mr. Morrison saw the victim fall into the vat after Miss Tudor saw him fall off of the walkway. Why did the other two both say then that they saw the ledge break? It was clearly already broken if he was not the ledge, the rail break, if he was hanging on the ledge. Which one of you fuckers is lying? Of course it lines up with the cutscene, but that's something we as the player know. That's not something Tyrion would know. In any case, Mr. Cuthbert, you may begin your cross-examination. Okay. Because the other two said, like, he touched it and it broke immediately. They saw a figure lean on a guardrail and break it. And then the figure fell from the walkway. It's two different people. One of them was already hanging, and the
Objection!
over. She said over, didn't she? Nika, you said that the victim tumbled over the guardrail? As in, he was thrown over it. Yes, that's right. What? What? Did you see the moment that the guardrail broke? No, I didn't. I already told you that, didn't I? But you did see the moment that Justin fell off of the walkway. In that moment, did you see Justin break the guardrail? No, like I told you, I didn't see the moment that the guardrail broke. But that's the thing, Rika. According to Morrison, Justin Ray broke the guardrail as he fell into the vat. More specifically, he said that Justin was standing on the walkway when this happened. What? According to the prosecution, Justin Wade leaned on a faulty guardrail and broke it, falling into the vent. But that's not what you saw, was it, Rika? No, I saw him tumble over the guardrail. The fucking poor window on her sprite. I'm afraid I don't see the importance of this, Mr. Cuthbert. Are you accusing the witness of perjury? There's definitely something going on here, but what? Rika's a mage and you don't want to suspect her, but you need to consider every possibility. What is happening here? They're both telling the truth. They're both seeing two different people. Ah, yes, of course. They're both telling the truth, you guess. But how does that make sense? Okay, think through this. If you assume that Rika and Morrison are telling the truth, you need to remember the exact order of events. First, Rika saw Justin go up the walkway. Yeah, he's hanging on. She saw Justin fall over the guardrail and off of the walkway. Justin was able to grab onto the walkway ledge. That's when Rika went to look for help. This is when she ran into Morrison and Asta. She came running towards us. Yes. And then is Asta's account of events. Yeah, you couldn't even see the face. Because it was too dark. Asta and Morrison couldn't see Justin's face. That one detail of the testimonies never sat right with you. But you dismissed your suspicions. They found Justin's body in the vat after all. You know for a fact that he fell into the vat. But you never considered one other possibility. Another person. Is that really possible? It's the only thing that makes sense. It would also explain how Rika, Morrison, and Asta all saw someone fall off the walkway at different times. Then who's the second person? You don't have a choice. Even if you don't know all of the facts, this is the only conclusion you can draw. I think you've had quite enough time to deliberate, Mr. Cuthbert. Are you accusing the witness or not? I'm not accusing the witness of perjury, Your Honor. Both Miss Tudor's and Mr. Morrison's testimonies appear to contradict each other, but they're both telling the truth. And please enlighten us, Mr. Cuthbert. How could both of the testimonies possibly be true? Well, I think there's only one possible explanation. Both Miss Tudor and Mr. Morrison saw someone fall off the walkway. But the person that Miss Tudor saw and the person that Mr. Morrison saw were two different people! Dun, dun, dun. Are you serious, Mr. Cuthbert? You honestly think some random person fell into the vat moments after Justin Wade fell in? It's the only conclusion that makes sense, Miss Stewart. Miss Tudor knew the victim and recognized him. That's how she was able to confirm that it was him that fell into the vat. However, Mr. Morrison and his companion did not know the victim personally. They could barely make out his features. They only assumed that it was him after learning that he fell in. Please. It's far more likely that Miss Tudor is simply mistaken about what she saw. What? No, I'm sure I saw Justin tumble over the guardrail. And let's not forget Miss Tudor's allegiances. As a beneficiary of the Dragon Trading Company, she has every reason to confound this case in the defendant's favor. It's not... That's enough. This is a civil case, Mr. Cuthbert, not some murder mystery for you to throw wild theories towards. I think I have a new thing to add to my mute list. Thank you. This was clearly an accident. No. It looks like you don't have a choice. You're going to have to use your trump card. You have one piece of evidence that implies that this wasn't a simple accident. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Are you sure about that, Your Honor? What? Justin Wade's death was reported as an unfortunate accident. As a result, the city guard put minimal resources into their investigation. More specifically, there was no reason to call in the Arcane Inquisition. What are you talking about now? Why would the Inquisition be... Are you saying that... Unlike the Oranax City Guard, I have a mage capable of casting magic. My bodyguard, Celeste McCoy, scanned the crime scene for magical traces, and she found traces of transmutation on the broken guardrail. Traces of magic were found at the crime scene, but that won't make this a potential homicide, Your Honor. This is ridiculous. The accident took place within an arcane refinery. Those traces could have easily come from the purification process. Miss Stewart, these traces were found only on the guardrails that Justin broke. We didn't find them anywhere else. We can't be certain of what happened, but it's clear that a mage used magic near the scene of the accident. Foul play may have been involved. So, my theory of another person falling into the vat is entirely possible. My clan is not at fault for the guardrail breaking. Considering the shocking revelation, there's still much we do not know about Justin Way's death. With that said, I have no choice but to suspend the trial of Von Sanctus versus Drakigan. You had a feeling that this would happen. Just like your other cases, the court won't pass a verdict unless a culprit is found. The court will give the Arcane Inquisition time to investigate the scene and the supposed magical traces. We will resume the trial in 2 days' time. Court is adjourned. 2 days? Maybe she can also detest magic at will. Maybe. Well, at least we survived the first day. It kind of feels like we're back to square one. Yeah, right? 2 days? Yeah. Inquisition will get involved. They know that magic played a role in what happened. If you want them to dismiss the case against Jack again, you're going to have to find out exactly what happened. If that's even possible. Hey, are you okay? You feel a headache coming on. Yeah, I think I'm just tired. Well, this day has been exhausting. It's pretty late. Should we just head back to the inn and continue the investigation tomorrow? No, I want to take another look at the refinery before the Inquisition gets there. You'll be going soon? Me too. Thank you for coming by. The throbbing pain in your skull seems to disagree with you doing that. Yeah, no, we're heading back to the inn. I'm fine, really. Tyrion, I know you're anxious about the trial, but you need to get some rest. Celeste, it's fine. It's not. You're going to work yourself. Would you just stay out of my way? Again, your voice came out louder than you meant for it to. Fine, whatever. Do what you want. It's a stam city. Being back here is really getting to you. That's all the more reason to get through this trial as soon as possible. The soreness in your head doesn't seem to be going away anytime soon. Perhaps she's right. You'll be better off investigating the scene after some rest. Smart, yes, actually. Absolutely, yes, absolutely, please. Save right here. And then, no! Oh, another nightmare overtakes your sleep. That is unfortunate. I'm so sorry. You will have to suffer through that next time. Because even if it's slightly early, I am not going to go into the next in-game scene, date, whatever, when I know I cannot finish it. And I am clearly not going to be able to finish it tonight. I'm not gonna get into it. I wonder. Actually, hold on. Let me see how long it is just in terms of like parts. The last one had 5 parts. This one also has 5 parts. Getting this poor man stuck in a nightmare for several days. See, listen, I didn't start it yet. We don't know that he's going to have a nightmare. It's another two parts. So next time we're gonna go to 3, 4. And then 5 is the last. Interesting. I'm guessing it's gonna be around the length of the second one. Then I guess they're going to be around the same. So maybe we'll actually have a good chance of finishing it. Finishing this specific case next time. Granted, I don't know yet who to suspect of the murder or the bigger reason as to why. But we'll find that out. Thank you for nice stream. Thank you for coming. We'll continue Tyrion Cuthbert on Sunday, and maybe I'll remember how to say bailiff next time still, and also the other word that I'm going to look at right now and then hopefully know next time. This game is a lot of fun. It does have a few. Sometimes really you have to. How do I say this? Sometimes I'm really confused by like what the evidence gives me as flavor text and where I'm supposed to put it for the game to actually continue on. But not gonna lie, it's in good Ace Attorney spirit, because I feel the same with the actual Ace Attorney game sometimes as well. Like, the game is like, oh, you know exactly what you need. Present it right now. And I'm just sitting there like, what do you want from me? And then other times, they really drag it out. You've been like, okay, I know who the killer is. I know exactly what to show, and the game doesn't let you yet. They're like, no, we need to go in a circle around the same point like 5 more times, and then you can present it. So honestly, it's perfect. It's just like Ace Attorney would have been. Oh, interesting. Also, I wonder what his fun little headaches and anger issues are gonna be about, because clearly something happened when he was younger. Also, it's certainly an interesting game. I'm having a lot of fun. So I'll see you guys next Friday. Not next Friday, but next, Friday. This Friday. I'll continue Tavern Talk with Barry, who is now forever chained to me and my whims of playing that game and voicing all of these characters. And then we'll also continue Lost Judgment on Saturday, which I am hoping to finish the main story off on Saturday. I think that is feasible. And then we'll get into some of the extra content for that game. And then this one on Sunday. Hi TK! I am literally just ending. I'm so sorry. But thank you for coming by. We just put on ending songs. There we go. It's a massive burden on her indeed. Yeah! Because every week I'm like, I'm gonna be playing it again. Would you like to join? And Barry's like, absolutely, I would love to. And then I'm like, oh, I'm sorry for making you vocal coach to all the work. She's like, I know, I love doing it. And I'm still like, sorry. Woo. It's a lot of fun though. We're playing a lot of reading heavy games. We're only playing games where I have to read everything out myself, aside from Lost Judgment. And even Lost Judgment, I have to read out the scenes that are not voiced. So, but it's fun. It is fun. Also, I'm going to have some time off next week, so maybe I can fit in a few more streams than usual, but no promises yet. Try. Anyway, let's go say hi to Primt. We haven't been there in a while, because we have very different streaming times. Primt is playing Psychonauts. Psychonauts does ring a bell, name-wise, but I've never played that myself. So enjoy. Have a good night, everyone. I'll see y'all soon. And bye-bye. Bye-bye-bye. Also, I finally have a new mouse. Yippee!